Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 61. Son Goten, don't you just want to fight? I will accompany you. That's right, Master Beerus. He was able to spot us so quickly. This is really not the vigilance that humans should have. Whis also said in a little surprise. Human beings can't detect the breath of God at all, which shows that the little guy in front of him is very alert. And the ability to judge danger is quite amazing. In fact, this kind of talent is a very good seed if you learn Ultra Instinct. And after hearing the conversation between Whis and Beerus, only then did Son Goku and Vegeta react. Then he immediately put down the food in his hands, and turned his head to look at Beerus and Whis. Who are those two guys? They are so strangely dressed. It looks a bit like Lord Kai and the others. Son Goku scratched his head, and said with some doubts. And I can't feel the breath in their bodies at all. I haven't seen it, it must not be from Earth. Keelan shook his head and said. After all, such a dress and appearance are rare on Earth. Everyone also began to perceive the aura of the two people in front of them, but they couldn't detect it at all. Although it can quietly appear behind us, and we didn't notice it at all. It seems that these two guys should be very powerful. Piccolo frowned, and said to Son Goku. And the god denned at the side. The moment he saw Beerus and Whis, his body fought uncontrollably. There seemed to be a sense of oppression from the depths of his soul, which made him feel extremely scared. He is very clear that this is the oppressive force from the dimension. In other words, the two people in front of them should also be gods. And it is a very high-level god. Otherwise, it would be impossible to exert such a terrifying suppressive force on him. That face, so familiar. I seem to have seen it somewhere. Vegeta stared at Beerus intently. I always feel that this guy's face is very familiar, as if I have seen it somewhere. But for a while, I couldn't remember it at all. And at this moment, Beerus also suddenly looked back at Vegeta. The eyes narrowed into a slit, and an overwhelming sense of oppression hit instantly. Vegeta's pupils constricted suddenly, and he was sweating profusely in an instant. Nani. Broken. Gods of Destruction Beerus. The moment he saw Beerus' eyes, Vegeta finally remembered. Because this look is so familiar, he left an indelible fear in his heart when he was a child. At the age of 5, this guy in front of him trampled his father like a dog. With just one look, he completely lost his ability to move. And the look in his eyes at that time was exactly the same as now. So at this moment, Vegeta also immediately recognized Gods of Destruction Beerus. Gods of Destruction Beerus, then who is it? Why didn't I hear you mention this name at all? Vegeta. Is it your friend? Son Goku was even more puzzled. Never heard Vegeta say the name Beerus before. And how did Vegeta have such a friend? Old son, if those two guys were Vegeta's friends, he would have such a frightened expression. It seems that my guess is not wrong at all, these two guys are absolutely ridiculously strong. Piccolo glanced at Vegeta's terrified expression, and then said to Son Goku. Vegeta's character is extremely proud. There are not many existences that can scare him. But the guy in front of him made Vegeta sweat profusely with fear just by looking at him. This is definitely an opponent so strong that they can't believe it. He's a god, a very, very powerful god. At this time, Dend also spoke to everyone in a fearful voice. In fact, everyone has already thought of this point. If you can't feel the breath of these guys at all, it means that they must be gods. And Vegeta also said just now, that guy seems to be called Gods of Destruction Beerus. Wow Kaka, has another strong man appeared? Excited, right Vegeta? Son Goku said to Vegeta carelessly. There was even more excitement on his face. But Vegeta's complexion was indeed even uglier. Cursing in a low voice to Son Goku. If you don't want to die, if you don't want the whole earth to be destroyed, just shut your mouth, Kakarot. Vegeta knows Beerus' power better than anyone. He can wipe out the entire earth in an instant. And they can't stop Gods of Destruction Beerus at all. Vegeta, this doesn't seem like your character. Son Goku looked at Vegeta wonderingly. This guy is just like himself, whenever he meets a strong opponent, he gets excited. But what happened today? There is no excitement at all, and it seems a little scared. Are those two guys who suddenly appeared very powerful? And at this moment, Beerus looked at Vegeta in midair and spoke. Long time no see, son-in-law King Vegeta. But you actually dare to call me by my first name, do you think your life is too long? Beerus' voice was calm, but not pretentious. In a word, Vegeta trembled with fright. Immediately said respectfully, "Sorry, Master Beerus, I lost my composure just now." Son Goku and the others have never seen such a respectful look. Even Vegeta didn't show such respect to the previous Frieza at all. It seems that it is completely the fear that penetrates into the bone marrow. Tisk tisk tisk. What a disappointment. As the prince of the fighting nation Saiyan, has he lost his blood now? Frieza shook her head, then said contemptuously. Originally thought that the current Vegeta could more or less allow himself to practice his hands. But now it seems that he is a bit too overestimated. Perhaps the moment she saw herself, she had completely lost the courage to come under the quilt. Hey, is this guy talking too arrogantly? Son Goku shook his fist, very dissatisfied with what Beerus said just now. Whoosh, and at this moment, Son Goten's body flashed and appeared in front of Son Goku. Then he said in a low voice, "The power of gods of destruction Beerus is beyond your comprehension, so Kai Feng should not say that he wants to challenge him. There's no way we're going to be his opponent. It's not that Son Goten is belittling himself. If you want to protect the earth, you must not be impulsive. Also don't piss off Beerus. Because Son Goten knows very well that what Beerus hates most is humans who lack due respect for gods. In fact, this guy is still very humane. As long as you don't take the initiative to provoke, generally speaking, you won't get angry rashly. Is he stronger than you?" Son Goku looked at Son Goten in surprise and said. "I didn't expect that even Goten, who is so powerful, would say that." This surprised him, but also made him even more interested. "Yes, he is much stronger than me." Son Goten also nodded immediately. There is indeed a big gap between him and Beerus now, which is undeniable. And at this moment, Whis seemed to notice something strange. Look at the halos above Son Goku and Vegeta's heads. Then he said to Beerus, "Master Beerus, Son Goku and Vegeta seem to have received special approval after they died, so they can return to the real world. Generally speaking, people who die will only have their souls left. But these guys in front of them still kept their bodies after they died. Moreover, he was able to return to the real world. Obviously, those guys in charge of the underworld opened the back door. This is not a good atmosphere. No matter what contribution they have made to the entire universe, they are dead when they die. Returning to the real world, this is already an illegal operation. Cut. It looks like those guys need to be taught a good lesson. But what I am most concerned about now is not these things, but the Super Saiyan God." Beerus curled his lips, though he'd love to teach those unruly guys a lesson now. But what he cares more about is Super Saiyan God. It took so long to come to Northern Galaxy, and he came here for this. Then staring at Vegeta and Son Goku they asked, "Hey, you guys are all Saiyan, have you ever heard of a guy called Super Saiyan God?" After Beerus' voice fell, Vegeta and Son Goku looked at each other. Obviously, they had never heard of the name. Super Saiyan God. What is that? Son Goku looked at Vegeta and asked. "How do I know? Can you keep your mouth shut?" "Kakarot," Vegeta said again viciously. "Kakarot is a bastard. Even if he is stupid, he always likes to make trouble. If the earth that this guy caused is destroyed, even if he returns to King Kai's planet, I will never spare him." Then Vegeta respectfully said to Beerus, "Master Beerus, I have never heard of the name Super Saiyan God. But what about Super Saiyan, we do know. As the former Prince of Saiyan, he also knows the history of people quite well. But I have never heard of the name Super Saiyan God." Cut. It seems that you don't know. So, it made me take a trip in vain. Looking at Son Goten and Vegeta, Beerus raised his eyebrows. "It took half an hour to come to this remote planet, but I didn't expect to find nothing. It seems that there is no need for this planet to exist. After all, you have come here, and you have to leave some traces of your own visits." At this time, Son Goten frowned deeply. I wonder if a good fight with Beerus will make him give up the idea of destroying the earth as in the original book. If you can, you may also be able to pick up Gods of Destruction's destruction skills. Lord Beerus, I told you that it was just an ordinary dream. What kind of Super Saiyan God doesn't exist in this universe at all? How about we go back? The ice cream at home won't taste good if it's been frozen for too long. Seeing Beerus, whose expression had changed, Whis spoke. Although the technology of this Earth is relatively backward. But now it seems that the level of human strength living on the Earth is still good. It is a star with a relatively high comprehensive level. Ball. If it is destroyed, the overall strength of the 7th universe is estimated to drop a little bit. Since I have come here, it is not in my style to go back like this. If you can't find Super Saiyan God, then destroy this backward planet. Beerus glanced at everyone, and then said indifferently. It seems that destroying a planet and killing hundreds of millions of creatures is as simple as eating and drinking for him. And in fact, it is true. Every time Gods of Destruction destroys, hundreds of millions of creatures will disappear. When I heard that Beerus was going to destroy the Earth, everyone clenched their fists tightly. As warriors protecting the Earth, they will never allow anyone to destroy the Earth. No matter what kind of strong the opponent is, they will fight to the death. But Vegeta was even more frightened. It's even a little pale. Because he knew that even if everyone joined forces, they couldn't be Gods of Destruction's opponent. That overwhelming sense of oppression cannot be fooled. Son Goten was also ready at this time. If Beerus is really going to destroy the Earth, then the only option is to fight him to the death. He is also a warrior of the Earth. His closest relatives live on this Earth. So even in the face of Gods of Destruction, he will never back down. And at this moment, Son Goku suddenly stepped forward. Then he looked up at Beerus with serious eyes and said, "Hey. Although I haven't figured out who you are, and I don't know how strong you are, I want to. I will never allow any casual destruction of the Earth that we have desperately guarded." Piccolo and Keelan also stepped forward, looking at Beerus firmly. Even if the other party is a god, if they want to destroy the Earth, they will absolutely not allow it. Oh, a bunch of little bugs, actually want to stop Gods of Destruction at 5.8. Beerus sneered. In fact, in his eyes, these guys in front of him can't even compare to a small bug. It can be completely smashed to death with just one hand. You all back down. There is indeed a big gap between your strength and his. At this moment, Son Goten walked up to Son Goku and the others, and then spoke. Their strength is indeed too weak. Perhaps Beerus would have killed them all, if not very hard. This senseless sacrifice is completely unnecessary. And he didn't want to let his companions be beaten in vain just to set off the aura of his protagonist. Since the difference in strength is too big, there is no need to play. Goten. Everyone's eyes immediately focused on Son Goten. Without any hesitation, they all took a few steps back. Because they are very clear about Goten's strength. If Goten can't solve the Gods of Destruction in front of him, then it's useless for them to go up. Of course, Son Goku is also very clear about this truth. And it happens that through the battle between Goten and this Beerus, we can take a good look at how strong that Beerus is. After everyone retreated, Son Goten said to Beerus, "Master Beerus, the reason you are looking for Super Saiyan God is not to find someone who can be with you. An opponent in a battle. Then, I'll accompany you." You. Beerus cast a contemptuous glance at Son Goten. Although this kid is very alert. But what strength can a child have? That's right. Anyway, it's here, so it won't hurt to try. Son Goten nodded firmly. Chapter 62. Don't get too overwhelmed, Saiyan brat. It is undeniable that you do have the vigilance ability that others do not have, but do you think that you are qualified to be an opponent of Gods of Destruction? I came here this time to look for Super Saiyan God. I'm not interested in you little bugs. Beerus frowned slightly, and then said to Son Goten with a look of disdain. In his opinion, the little guy in front of him is just an ordinary person with a little more vigilance. It is simply impossible to compare with the rival in my dream. It is even more impossible to have the strength of 1/1000th of one's own. So for such an opponent, he really can't arouse any interest. Compared with fighting such boring people, she obviously prefers to enjoy the gorgeous fireworks born from the explosion of the planet. How would you know if you didn't try? Son Goten also said seriously. Although right now he really doesn't want to confront Beerus head-on. But if no one stands up to stop Beerus, then the Earth will hardly avoid the catastrophe. Perhaps throwing away his dignity might bring Beerus back. That is to overcome the weakness of Beerus through gourmet food. After all, this guy is a complete foodie. But such a thing, he felt a little unable to do it. What's more, if you fight with Beerus, it is very likely that you will pick up his god skill and destroy it. So even if it is a risk, it seems to be worth it. Besides, if Beerus approves of his next performance, maybe he won't destroy the Earth. Just like Dragon Ball Super. A stinky brat who doesn't know how to live or die. It seems that you guys just can't understand the power of gods of destruction. But since you want to try it, I will wait a few seconds to fulfill your request. Beerus said indifferently at first. But in the end, he agreed to Son Goten's request. Anyway, it was only a few seconds. After a few seconds, the planet ceased to exist. Then, can you not hurt the innocent people on Earth before the battle is over? Son Goten pleaded. Once the two of them fight, it is very likely that the Earth will be destroyed in a moment. So he wants Whis to protect the safety of the Earth before the battle is over. Cut. What an annoyance. Whis. Beerus pouted, but finally took a look at Whis. The little guy in front of me is really brave, so agree to his request. Yes, Lord Beerus. Angel Whis also immediately understood what Beerus meant, and then nodded respectfully. The staff in his hand tapped the ground lightly, and the green energy instantly spread from his feet. In a short while, the green energy of the grass has covered every inch of the earth. A layer of light green halo appeared on all the creatures on the earth. For angels, this is a very easy thing in itself. Little devil, I don't even know why I agreed to your unreasonable request. However, if your strength can't make me a little interested, then I will destroy this planet without hesitation, including you. Beerus felt a little unbelievable that he would agree to the request of a little human. Maybe he still has a little bit of expectation for this kid in front of him. But he had better not let himself down, otherwise, he would destroy all of them without hesitation. 3. Son Goten nodded. Goku, will my Goten be okay? Chi-Chi looked at Son Goten with a worried face, and then asked Son Goku. Although she can't feel how strong the cat person opposite is. But looking at the expressions of Goku and Vegeta, it can be judged that the guy is definitely a very difficult opponent. What's more, even Goten just said that he can't beat that cat man. This made Chi-Chi even more worried. Goku and Gohan are not really resurrected, and after more than 20 hours, they will return to their original place. Once again only Goten was left. If something unexpected happens to Goten, then she really doesn't have the courage to live. Don't worry, Chi-Chi. If Goten is in danger at that time, we will rush to protect him without hesitation. Son Goku took Chi-Chi's hand, and then spoke comfortingly. Of course, this is just consolation. Because if even Goten is not the opponent of Beerus, they are even more incomparable. The only hope now is that Goten can defeat Beerus. Must win. Goten. Son Gohan prayed from the side. Little ghost, although your strength makes me feel very uncomfortable, but now use all your strength to defeat Beerus, let him take a good look at Saiyan's bloodiness. Vegeta clenched his fists tightly, thinking secretly in his heart. Although he doesn't like Goten that kid very much, he doesn't like Beerus even more. Come on, Goten, you can do it. Kling is also cheering for Son Goten. At this moment, the bodies of Son Goten and Beerus rose into the air little by little. It was about 100 feet away from the ground, and the two of them stopped after they reached the same height. Afterwards, Beerus said indifferently, Little devil, you Saiyans seem to be able to make some fancy transformations, right? Although it's useless, at least the strength seems to have increased. Hurry up and transform, otherwise, you may not have a chance to fight with your strength. Through the information provided by Whis before, he has seen the transformation of Son Goku and Vegeta. That kind of gaudy blonde transformation, to be honest, he had never seen it before. I have never discovered that Saiyan can transform. The brat in front of him obviously has more power than Son Goku and Vegeta. Then he will definitely change too. Ah, you are absolutely right. In the face of gods of destruction, you really can't be careless. Son Goten nodded seriously. If it was someone else, maybe he wouldn't have used Super Saiyan's transformation in the first place. But now they are facing the ridiculously powerful gods of destruction Beerus. This guy is the top existence among the gods of destruction of the 12 universes. Therefore, there must be no sloppy. The practice of preserving strength is obviously very stupid now. Then change quickly. Beerus gritted his teeth in boredom, and then spoke lightly. In fact, he didn't have any illusions about the kid in front of him. To fight gods of destruction, he definitely doesn't have that qualification. And at this time in the Supreme Kai world, old Supreme Kai was already livid with fright. Constantly wandering in the god realm. Idiots, they're all a bunch of idiots. I have reminded them so clearly just now, I didn't expect them to still fight Lord Beerus. Are those guys all idiots who don't know how much disaster this will bring to the universe? While wandering around, the old Supreme Kai was also yelling. Obviously they have already reminded Son Goten and those guys in such detail before. But now they seem to have completely forgotten their reminders. To actually want to fight Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus is simply asking for death. What's more, their death may make Master Beerus even more angry. At that time, it will be a huge catastrophe for the entire universe. Hearing the old Supreme Kai's words, Supreme Kai Asen raised his eyebrows slightly. He felt that this matter had nothing to do with Goten and the others. It's that Lord Beerus is just too tyrannical. Want to destroy other people's planets at every turn. Faced with this situation, should Goten and the others remain indifferent and wait to be destroyed? Then he retorted, "My Lord Ancestor, I agree with all your previous statements and opinions. But I can't agree with you on this matter. I don't know how powerful Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus is, but now he threatens to destroy the Earth, which is the homeland that the Goten and the others rely on for survival, and it is also the hometown they have guarded for so long. For Goten, once the Earth is destroyed, all hope is lost. Under such circumstances, shouldn't we fight back? At least fighting might give them hope. It's better than sitting still and waiting to die." Supreme Kai Asen's tone is sonorous and forceful. This seemed to be the first time he had spoken to the ancestors so forcefully. But that's what he thought in his heart. In the face of such an extremely arrogant gods of destruction, we should fight back. No one wants to be a lamb to the slaughter. Not to mention Goten, who has super strength. Hearing this, the old Supreme Kai also showed a surprised expression on his face. Unexpectedly, Supreme Kai, who is usually docile like a lamb, is speaking so hard now. Although what he just said is true. For Son Goten and the others, fighting back is the only way out. But from the perspective of Supreme Kai, his vision is too narrow, and the pattern is too small. Because once those guys anger Lord Beerus, it's not just Earth that will suffer. The entire northern galaxy, and even the entire universe will face a great catastrophe. That's all. It's already like this. Then he couldn't say anything. From the perspective of those mortals like Son Goten, what they did was indeed right. But what I just said is from the perspective of Supreme Kai. From the perspective of protecting the universe, his words are also completely correct. And this time on Earth. Son Goten suddenly clenched his fists. Ha! A deep roar came out of his throat instantly. At the same time, a powerful breath erupted from Son Goten's body instantly. An extremely powerful air wave swept away directly, and energy ripples visible to the naked eye appeared in the sky. Rustle. Grass-green flames also instantly lingered around the body. Like a green beam of light, piercing through the clouds and hitting the sky. At this time, Son Goten's aura has reached an unprecedented level of terror. Both Son Goku and Vegeta were shocked. Although Goten also transformed when facing Majin Buu and Xie Nianbo before. But the aura released by the transformation at that time was completely incomparable with the present. This means that Goten at that time still retained his own power. But facing the gods of destruction Beerus in front of him, he will go all out. Even Whis at the side couldn't help but glance at Son Goten after feeling the powerful power of 560. There was a little surprise on his face. Although this aura is still incomparable to Master Beerus. But I have to say that it is already considered too strong. In the entire 7th universe, apart from myself and Lord Beerus, there is absolutely no aura stronger than this. Even Supreme Kai and the others are completely worthless in front of this kid in front of them. Oh, is there such a powerful force hidden in such a small body? No wonder you were so confident just now, it seems that you really have some strength. I have to say, I underestimated this brat just now. Gods of Destruction Beerus also showed a look of surprise on his face. Before, he felt that he could defeat the little devil in front of him with just one finger. But the aura erupting now is unprecedentedly powerful. Among all the opponents I have faced before, except for gods of destruction from other universes, it seems that there is no existence that is stronger than this kid in front of me. although the Super Saiyan God in the prophetic dream was not found. Of course, this brat in front of him seems to be a good opponent. At least it shouldn't be killed too quickly. Ha ha. Accompanied by continuous roars, the grass-green flames around Son Goten's body boiled like a raging sea. Right under everyone's gaze, Son Goten's hair color directly turned into grass-green, and his pupils turned into gold. The battle suit on the upper body has been torn, and the upper body is bare, and the pieces of strong tendons seem to express the strength of the body. This is the legendary Super Saiyan form. Son Goten at the moment, and with full firepower, takes power to the extreme. The current him should be the full power form of Xuanchao Saiyan in the first stage. The power of this form is completely not comparable to that of the original Broly. After all, after being exploited by the old World King, his basic combat power has reached a rather terrifying value. There is no doubt that the current him must have power beyond Super Saiyan God. Master Beerus, this is my power after transformation, please teach me. After transforming into the legendary Super Saiyan form, Son Goten also immediately stabilized his excitement, and then said politely to Beerus. Interesting. You are indeed much stronger than I imagined. It looks like the next battle shouldn't disappoint me too much. Beerus pursed his lips, and there was a little excitement on his face. After millions of years, it seems that today I can finally move my body well. Chapter 63. It seems that this kid in front of him is really a surprise. I had no illusions about him at first. But now it seems that the strength of this brat is far beyond his imagination. Although he still can't become his real opponent, he should be fully equipped with the ability to help him warm up. Come on, Master Beerus, Son Goten said to Beerus without any extra nonsense. Cut, little devil, you should take the initiative to attack. Beerus snorted coldly and waved towards Son Goten. Although the strength of this kid surprised him, but at this level, there was no way for him to take the initiative. Whoosh, Son Goten didn't say a word, he just flashed his body and rushed towards Beerus quickly. The speed is very fast, and it goes directly to Beerus in an instant. Then he punched out with all his might. Beerus just stretched out his right palm lightly, and the moment the fists collided, he easily caught Son Goten's attack. Terrifying shock waves and air waves also spread in all directions in an instant. A huge sonic boom circle also appears. If the Earth was not protected by Whis superpower at this time, it is estimated that the energy shock waves just now could directly destroy the entire Earth. What? To catch Goten's punch so easily? Both Son Goku and Piccolo were incomparably shocked. Because they could feel the power of Goten's punch just now. If this punch landed on them, their bodies would probably explode in an instant. But Beerus caught it easily, and his face didn't change at all. This also made them realize more clearly that Gods of Destruction Beerus does possess super strength. Not just lip service. Shish. Boom boom boom. After one punch failed to achieve results, Son Goten did not feel any loss, but continued to blast countless punches. One after another sonic boom circles keep appearing, and the whole earth keeps shaking. Fortunately, even such a powerful shock wave did not cause any damage to the earth. From this, we can also guess how strong Whis is. Whoa! Are these all the delicacies of the earth? They look so delicate, and I have never seen them on other planets. I don't know how it tastes. May I have a taste, please? At this time, Whis also discovered all kinds of delicacies on the luxury cruise ship. Then he said intently, "This guy's manners are still very good." When, of course, the chef at the food stall was almost taken aback by fright, so he nodded immediately at this time. The cat person who is fighting has incomparably powerful strength. And this guy in front of him is actually with him, so he must not be underestimated. This kind of superficial truth is completely understandable even for an ordinary chef. At this time, Bulma also found Whis not far away. Is that guy really a god? Looking at his eyes, why does he look more like a foodie? Bulma thought suspiciously. If the guy named Whis is a foodie, wouldn't that Beerus be as well? If both of them are foodies, maybe this crisis is a turning point after Goten's failure. But at this time in the sky, Son Goten and Beerus have already fought fiercely together. Boom! The muffled crash and sonic boom rang out incessantly. So the speed of the two of them is already so fast that humans can't keep up at all. They can only determine their location by judging Goten's breath and the constant sonic boom circle. Boom. At this moment, Beerus directly punched Son Goten in the chest. And Son Goten's body, after bearing such a heavy blow, also directly flew upside down for a distance of several hundred feet. There is also a burst of chest tightness and shortness of breath. Although he didn't use his full strength, the punch of Beerus was quite terrifying. Oops, Goten got hit. Is that guy really so scary? When everyone saw Son Goten who was punched flying, their expressions became even uglier. You must know that Son Goten at this time has reached a level that they cannot understand. But even so, it seems that there is still a very big gap between gods of destruction Beerus. But Son Goten isn't worried. The pain in his chest probably made him have no intention of retreating. On the contrary, this pain is constantly stimulating the cells in his body. Under the stimulation of pain, every cell in the body seemed to become active, even boiling. This is the power of the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline. Pain can better excite the body. Son Goten raised his head, with the same excitement in his eyes. His state at this time seems to be somewhat similar to Vegeta, who has realized his self-consciousness in the comics of the second season of Dragon Ball Super. It seems that the pain and injury suffered will become nutrients and stimulants. Constantly stimulate the cells in the body, so as to continuously become stronger. After thinking this, Son Goten rushed out again. It's really a tenacious brat, and his body is also incredibly strong. The fist just now didn't hurt him. Beerus was surprised again. But this is more fun. If this guy is instantly killed by himself, then this game is too boring. Ha! Son Goten roared, and it was also a straight punch without any fancy. Beerus extended his right palm again to block. But at that moment, Sun Wufu's body completely disappeared. At the moment of the attack just now, he directly used instant transmission. Nani? Beerus' face changed. Apparently he didn't expect Son Goten to be so fast. He was clearly still in front of him just now, and his breath was so clear. But at the moment of the attack, it completely disappeared. Boom! Just as he was still immersed in surprise, a pain came from his back. The moment the collision sounded, Beerus' body also flew forward several tens of feet. There was a burning pain in his entire back. Damn it. Damn brat. Unexpectedly, the dignified gods of destruction was hit by this guy, and Beerus' expression changed instantly. If you have been playing games just now, now is the real battle. Little ghost, feel this well. The moment the eyebrows were stretched, Beerus raised his right index finger, and a huge light yellow energy ball instantly condensed from the fingertips. In an instant, the energy ball swelled to the size of 2 football fields. It also contains the might of destroying heaven and earth. Everyone looked nervously at the huge energy ball. Because they can clearly feel that the ability contained in that energy ball can completely destroy the entire galaxy. But Son Goten's expression didn't change at all. This kind of energy attack, except for the destructive energy of gods of destruction, he doesn't care too much at all. And now, he has more than just the legendary Super Saiyan blood. If you choose to avoid this energy ball, the earth under your feet will be completely destroyed. Even the energy of Whis just now, it's impossible to stop it at all. If you don't dodge, I have full confidence that you will die by your minister. Beerus raised the corner of his mouth, revealing a piercing smile. This choice is undoubtedly very difficult for anyone to make a decision. How should I choose between my own life and death and the fate of the entire planet? Son Goten remained calm, his expression unchanged. If you use your body to carry this huge energy ball, it will be really difficult to hit it down. And even if it is carried down in the end, it will consume a lot of physical energy. Make a good decision, kid. After Beerus' indifferent laughter fell, the energy ball in his hand also slowly fell. He wants to witness Son Goten's selection a little bit. Little by little, I saw the panic and despair on his face. It's over. It's over. It's hard for Goten to catch that energy ball. If he dodged, the earth would disappear in an instant. If you force it to continue, even if you survive by chance, you will definitely be seriously injured. Both Son Goku and Piccolo's complexions were instantly dimmed. There is a deep guilt in my heart. Unexpectedly, just after they returned to the earth ushered in such a huge crisis. If they stayed in the underworld, perhaps such a thing would not have happened. Or all the disasters on the earth really accompanied by them. In fact, This is also the reason why Son Goku and the others have refused to be resurrected before. Because they have always existed on the Earth, so the Earth crisis continues. Therefore, after being killed by Cell, they chose to let nature take its course and were unwilling to be resurrected again. In fact, they want to better protect the Earth. For one thing, if they continue to be resurrected, Cell will definitely return to Earth immediately. If they can't deal with Cell at that time, the Earth may be destroyed. Second, as Bulma said before, it seems that all enemies are directed at words. If Goku and the others were dead, maybe there wouldn't be so many villains on Earth. Don't be so depressed, everyone. Although that energy ball is indeed so powerful, it's unbelievable. It is fully capable of destroying the entire galaxy in an instant. But didn't you realize that there is no trace of tension in the part? He is still so confident and calm. Seeing the sad faces on everyone's faces, Keelan also spoke immediately. Maybe it's because he has been in contact with Goten for a long time, and every time Goten can bring him surprises and surprises. So he feels that this time, Goten is definitely capable of handling it. Although the speed of the energy ball is not very fast. But in a moment, he had already arrived in front of Son Goten. Then let you see the ability of Xie Nianbo. Seeing the energy ball that was already close at hand, Son Goten launched it with both hands. A huge dimensional black hole like a mirror appeared in front of Son Goten. And the moment the dimensional black hole appeared, Beerus's energy ball was directly absorbed into it. Then disappeared without a trace. There are no ripples and fluctuations. What the hell kind of move is that? Seeing the scene in front of him, Beerus felt like hell. How could a human being do such a thing? Let your energy ball evaporate out of thin air. At this time, even Whis, who was enjoying the delicious sushi, changed slightly. Then immediately looked at Son Goten. Oh, it looks a bit like something similar to space ability. This is a curious little guy. The ability just now is very likely related to some kind of spatial ability. Otherwise, it would be impossible to completely disappear Master Beerus' attack in an instant. This kid is indeed very unusual. That ability. It seems to be very similar to Xie Nianbo's ability. Have you seen it? At this time, Son Goku suddenly found that the ability that Goten used just now was very similar to that of Xie Nianbo. In an instant, the opponent's energy wave completely disappears. That kid, what are you kidding? Vegeta noticed it too. I always feel that this guy is really outrageous. After fighting Broly before, his transformation form seems to have completely changed. After the last battle with Xie Nianbo, although he has the ability similar to Xie Nianbo. Could it be said that this little ghost can quickly learn the abilities of others in the process of fighting with others? If that's the case, isn't it too scary? Just when everyone was extremely surprised. In front of Beerus, the mirror dimensional black hole just appeared suddenly. The light yellow light is released from the black hole. Almost in the blink of an eye, the huge energy ball was sent to Beerus again. Nani. Beerus was also completely shocked. Just now I thought that his energy ball was disappeared by that kid with some mysterious ability. And now it's back to him. You must know that even their gods of destruction didn't have this ability. It seems that this kid is indeed qualified to be confident. But shock is shock. Whether the energy wave comes out by oneself will not harm oneself. With a light touch of Beerus' palm, the huge ball of energy began to dissipate quickly. In just 0.01 second, the huge energy ball disappeared completely. Little ghost, you really have a lot of fancy moves. The scene just now made me feel a little surprised, of Lee's. But I have to tell you seriously, these fancy abilities can never defeat gods of destruction, nor can they become your umbrella. When Beerus' voice fell, a purple aura began to emerge around his body. Obviously, he intends to be serious. Whoosh. No one saw Beerus clearly. In an instant, he was in front of Son Goten. Then he punched out. Son Goten didn't even have time to use the dimensional black hole, and was directly punched in the lower abdomen by Beerus. Bang bang bang. Another combination of punches several times in a row. Every time a fist lands on Son Goten's body, it dents his body directly. Boom. Another heavy punch was swung out. Son Goten's chest collapsed in an instant. The body was even punched heavily by Beerus on the deck of the luxury cruise ship. At this time, Son Goten looked extremely embarrassed. His body was covered with clear fist marks one after another. It can be said that there is no good place in the upper body. Woo, Son Goten. Everyone hurried over with concern. With such a serious injury, he almost completely lost his combat effectiveness. If the fairy beans are not used in time, it is estimated that life will be in danger. But at this moment, Son Goten stood up again. His face was still very calm. Although Beerus' attack just now was really strong. And every time a punch falls on the body, you will feel pain. But with Majin Buu's super regeneration ability, this kind of injury is nothing at all. Son Goten shook his body slightly, and the fist marks on his body disappeared immediately. Totally in mint condition. And, after seeing this scene, everyone was dumbfounded again. Just suffered such a serious injury. It is no exaggeration to say that the upper body has been completely deformed. But Goten healed in an instant. It's like plasticine. It's so creepy, he's amazing. Chapter 64. Kling, do you know what's going on? Since when did Goten have such a strong recovery ability? Son Goku blinked his eyes, obviously surprised. You must know that Saiyan has no recovery ability. Moreover, it was simply impossible for him to heal himself after suffering such a severe injury just now. But Goten recovered in an instant, and he felt the same as before. This is indeed a bit too amazing. Goten is obviously Saiyan's blood, but why does he have such a strange move? Moreover, they often observed Goten in the underworld before, and did not find that he had this special ability. I don't know either. Goten has never used this ability before, but he can help others heal injuries. Keelan also shook his head with a puzzled expression, and then immediately said to Son Goku. When I was fighting Xie Nianbo before, I was almost killed by that guy. And Goten fully recovered from his injuries in just 1 second. He also felt very strange at that time. Because Saiyan does not have the ability to heal. And that ability Goten hadn't used before. Kakarot, Son Goten, that brat is simply different. It's completely different from our Saiyan. The ability he possesses now is completely different from ours. Vegeta immediately said to Son Goku. Whether it's the transformation of the green hair, or the rapid recovery now. This ability is absolutely impossible for Saiyan to master. Of course, he thinks so, and it has a lot to do with Vegeta's shallow knowledge. Whoa, this kid really surprises people again and again. First, he mastered the ability similar to the power of space, and now he has displayed this powerful recovery ability. If he is cultivated, he may be the best candidate for the next gods of destruction. Whis also looked at Son Goten in surprise, and then said secretly in his heart. To be honest, in the entire 7th universe, there don't seem to be many powerful humans. Hundreds of years ago, the talent shown by the Frieza family can be said to be very outstanding. Beyond most races in the universe. So Master Beerus also seems to intend to make Frieza the next gods of destruction. If you pass the assessment, you will most likely become a candidate for gods of destruction. 157. Unfortunately, the big guy was killed by Son Goku. And the Saiyan race, which was completely inconspicuous before, seems to be showing signs of rising now. Leaving aside Son Goku and Vegeta, they both have power beyond Frieza. And now the Son Goten in front of him is not comparable to Frieza in strength. This kid was able to cultivate his strength to this level in just a few years. If he becomes the gods of destruction of the 7th universe in the future, he may be able to inherit the mantle of Lord Beerus as the most powerful gods of destruction. And at this moment Beerus looked straight. Unexpectedly, the stormy attack just now not only failed to kill that Xiaohui. Now he has recovered easily. This really surprised him, but also excited him a bit. If it is so easy to get rid of this guy, then the matter is too simple. Fortunately, this kid can really bring people unexpected surprises. But even though he thought so in his heart, he said on his mouth, "Little ghost, you really have a lot of tricks in this kind of flower. But I'd like to know if you'll be able to recover all the damage." With the sound falling, Beerus rushed to Son Goten again. This time, he obviously increased his strength a bit. The moment the body flashed out, it was already in front of Son Goten. Then without further ado, Diary hit Son Goten with a heavy uppercut in the stomach. Wow, a mouthful of sour water spewed directly from Son Goten's mouth. The body was thrown into the air directly. Whoosh. Beerus disappeared again. Son Goten forcibly stabilized his body, and the moment he turned his head, he saw Beerus's cat face. At this time, there was an evil smile on his face, and he had already clasped his hands and waited quietly. The moment Son Goten stabilized his body, his clenched fist slammed down heavily. Boom. Rumble. Another loud bang made the luxury cruise ship tremble. The surface of the sea stirred up huge waves. If it weren't for Whis energy protection, it is estimated that this blow would be able to smash through the earth. This time Beerus didn't choose to attack with energy. Instead, the body swooped down, and the fists were like machine guns, constantly outputting to Son Goten. Boom boom boom. Punch after punch, precise BGFJ, on Son Goten's face and body. The newly recovered body also showed clear fist marks again. Although he was in great pain at this time. But he can feel that these pains are turning into his history little by little. Although he picked up Majin Buu's super regeneration ability before, he can also feel pain. Of course, a living person is one who has flesh and blood and can feel pain. If you lose even the sense of pain, you are not a real human being. Look at Son Goten, who has been completely deformed. Beerus raised his fist high again, his head filled with purple flames. Boom. With a heavy punch, Son Goten's body split apart like a watermelon. Seeing this scene, everyone gasped in fright. As for Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Vital, this is a direct scream. The cat man in front of him was too cruel. It actually blew up Goten's body. Cut. Damn, you bastard, absolutely unforgivable. Seeing his own son being punched by Beerus, Son Goku couldn't contain the anger in his heart anymore. With a roar, it directly changed into the form of Super Saiyan 3. Son Gohan followed suit and became Super Saiyan directly. Then Piccolo, Krillin, and Majin Buu all raised their aura to the extreme. Whizzing. At the same time rushed to Gods of Destruction Beerus. Cut. A bunch of bugs. Beerus snorted softly. Obviously he didn't pay attention to guys like Son Goku at all. Although each of them can be regarded as the best among human beings, possessing impressive strength. But in front of Gods of Destruction, it is definitely not worth mentioning. And compared to Son Goten just now, he has no interest in these people at all. After the indifferent voice fell, the toes lightly tapped the ground. With these guys, he simply didn't bother to make a move. The moment the toes tapped the ground, a purple halo instantly spread out to the surroundings. Son Goku and the others rushed over just now, at the moment when they saw the purple energy. The body was directly thrown out. Then they fell heavily on the ground, and Piccolo and Son Gohan spurted a mouthful of blood directly from their mouths, instantly losing their fighting power. Even the peak combat power of Super Saiyan 3 is so vulnerable in front of Gods of Destruction Beerus. Damn, that guy's strength is beyond our imagination. We can't stop him at all. Son Goku said with extremely serious eyes. Just stomping their feet directly made them lose their combat effectiveness. If that guy wants to kill them, maybe he can do it in an instant. Under such a huge gap, let alone revenge, the entire Earth is estimated to be destroyed now. And after Beerus easily defeated Son Goku and the others. Then he looked at the place where Son Goten exploded just now. Because he knew that nothing happened to the kid just now. Because his aura has not weakened in the slightest. It seems that this guy's recovery ability has far exceeded his imagination. Being punched by myself, the breath didn't weaken in any way. Just when all the soldiers were at a loss, Son Goten, who was blown up just now, began to recover a little bit. In a moment, it became the appearance of Son Goten. This scene once again frightened everyone in front of them. Can you still recover from being blown up by a punch? Then, what's going on? Goten is not dead, he is alive again. Is this really Goten? Isn't it amazing? Vital looked in disbelief at Son Goten, who had regained his body, and moaned in a low voice. Although some time ago she knew that Son Goten was very strong. But at this level of strength, even the body can be recovered from being smashed into scum. For him, this is indeed completely unbelievable. In her father's words, this must be a deceiving trick. Goten's all right. Great, my Goten wasn't killed. Chi-Chi was extremely excited. Of course, in addition to being shocked, everyone was also relieved of the hanging heart just now. That boy Goten knows how to scare us. Krillin took a long breath and said. Apparently, he was more worried about Goten being killed than anyone. Because in that case, he would really be the only warrior left on Earth. At that time, if there is another crisis on the Earth, no one can help him. And with his strength, it may not be able to solve it. Call. The power is constantly expanding. It's so strong, it feels like my body is going to explode. In the face of everyone's shock and excitement, Sun Goten seemed to be deaf to the shock and excitement at this time. Whispering to himself, it was as if he was completely in his own space now. Completely cut off all outside sounds. A vast force is constantly forming in the body, and then surges crazily. The whole body is like a huge spring. Tao's endless energy is constantly spreading to the body. That feeling, as if the energy is so powerful that it wants to explode your body. It seems that the pain he suffered just now has begun to slowly transform into Li Huang. This is the power of the legendary Super Saiyan. Call. I can't control it anymore, my strength is about to overflow. A murmur came from Sun Goten's throat. This is Sun Goten's expression is a bit dull. It was as if he had completely forgotten that there was a mighty gods of destruction Beerus in front of him. Oh, an extremely powerful force suddenly appeared in that kid's body. And this power is still expanding rapidly. What's going on? What kind of secret is hidden in this kid's body? Whis is even more surprised now. I didn't expect that Sun Goten's strength not only didn't weaken after being beaten by Master Beerus. And the energy in the body is rising sharply. He could feel that Sun Goten himself was having a hard time suppressing this force. This is just a Saiyan who claims to be a fighting nation. And it's still a mixed-race Saiyan, how could it be possible to have such a powerful force? It's interesting, is the strength still rising? After feeling the surging power in Sun Goten's body, Beerus didn't stop it immediately. No fear or worry of any kind. On the contrary, the excitement on his face became more intense. Because the stronger Sun Goten becomes in front of him, the more he can experience a hearty battle. It was something he had dreamed of for millions of years. It's going to explode. Ha ha. At this moment, Sun Goten's beast-like roar was released from his throat. At the same time, he also completely released the powerful force in his body. A powerful air wave is generated around the body. The grass-green energy beam of tens of meters in diameter also pierced the sky in an instant. At this time, the entire sky turned into a piece of grass green, and the dark clouds continuously circled the green beam of light. See la la. In the next second, streaks of golden lightning passed through the dark clouds and flickered in the sky. And the crackling lightning is getting stronger and stronger. At this moment, the whole earth feels like it's the end of the world. Sun Goten's grass-green hair stood tall, and golden arcs also appeared around his body. See la la. Those electric arcs are like little snakes reappearing. The air waves are constantly spreading. Son Goku and the others quickly put their hands in front of them to block. And Son Goten's rapidly expanding breath, and then they were a little speechless in surprise. The previous Goten has already made them feel extremely outrageous. But now, the word, outrageous, is hard to describe the shock that Goten caused in their hearts. Could it be, is this the transformation of Goten's Super Saiyan 2? At this moment, Son Gohan said to everyone in a shocked tone. Look at the tall green hair and the golden lightning around the body. This is somewhat similar to when I became Super Saiyan 2. There is a qualitative gap between the color of the hair and the color of the lightning, as well as the strength of the two of them after transformation. It's really similar. It looks like Goten's bloodline has undergone some kind of mutation. In any case, Goten's strength has become stronger, and the earth is safer. Piccolo added hastily. The current Goten should be able to fight Beerus. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe. Chapter 65. This form can indeed be called the second level of the legendary Super Saiyan. In short, the legendary Super Saiyan 2. After transforming into this form, the huge energy in the body can be released, and the body is more powerful than the previous transformation. Fully capable of carrying these energies. Is this what it feels like after a breakthrough? Full of strength, Son Goten clenched his fist lightly, and the strength in his body was continuously concentrated towards the fist. I have to say, this feeling is really cool. It seems that fighting Beerus is a very good thing, and you can actually improve your own strength through fighting. Now the strength has been improved qualitatively. Clap clap. At this moment, gods of destruction Beerus also clapped their hands. Not bad, you actually made a breakthrough by fighting with me. I am surprised by the power you have now. To be honest, you are the first human being who made me feel excited in tens of millions of years. Maybe it's true as you said, I don't need to look for that Super Saiyan God now. Beerus said to Son Goten with a smile on his lips. If the previous Son Goten hadn't whetted his appetite to fight, then the Son Goten in front of him was indeed regarded as a good opponent by him. Because this guy's current strength is indeed very powerful. Even if you look at the 12 universes, the number of human beings who can reach this level is definitely no more than 5 fingers. At this time, the violent energy in Son Goten's body subsided little by little. Then, he looked at Beerus and said, Master Beerus, maybe now is the time for the real battle to begin, please advise. This huge power naturally made him full of confidence. Because this kind of improvement is really too big. Even he himself didn't know how many times this form was stronger than before. Of course, you can be sure, if you have reached the strength of the Super Saiyan God before. So now, it is definitely not weaker than the Super Blue Sun Goku with Kaioken turned on 20 times. In a short period of time, the strength has improved so terrifyingly. This is the benefit of blood. If you continue to fight, maybe there will be a breakthrough. The moment the voice fell, Son Goten's body also appeared in a flash. Everyone saw only a flash of green lightning. Now, apart from Beerus and Whis, no one can see Son Goten clearly. Even a brief afterimage cannot be seen clearly. If it weren't for the grass-green arrogance surrounding their bodies, they probably wouldn't be able to see anything. After all, the gap between Son Goten and all fighters has been completely drawn. And it's absolutely worlds apart. Almost in the blink of an eye, Son Goten appeared directly in front of Beerus. One is that there are no fancy punches thrown. Beerus repeated his old trick, blocking with his right hand. Boom! The moment the fists collided, it was obvious that Beerus could not block it so easily this time. The body was directly blasted out by Son Goten's punch. Swish! Beerus' body flew upside down for a distance of several thousand feet before he stood up firmly. At this moment, he felt a tingling sensation in his entire arm. Are you kidding me? Is this brat's strength so terrifying? Feeling the numbness from his arm, Beerus also frowned instantly. Just when he was surprised, Son Goten's body flashed away again. Appeared above Beerus' head, he clasped his hands and smashed down heavily. Seeing this, Beerus hurried to one side, insisting on dodging Son Goten's attack. Then the whip leg was raised. Kicked directly in the chest of Son Goten. With a low impact, Son Goten was kicked away. The purple energy arrogance around Beerus' body also surged instantly. Whoosh whoosh, bang bang bang. The bodies of the two instantly turned into two rays of light, colliding continuously. Once again, sonic boom circles appeared one after another in the sky. This time it was obvious that both of them were very fast. Hey, the speed and strength have reached such a terrifying level. If it is further improved, it may be able to reach the level of other gods of destruction. Even I have never seen such an exaggerated human being. Whis also watched the battle between the two intently at this time, and commented. Master Beerus is the top existence among the 12 universes. The strength of each universe gods of destruction is different. And this difference is relatively large. The gods of destruction of some universes are actually not particularly strong. And if Son Goten continues to improve, it is very likely to reach the level of those weaker gods of destruction. Bang bang bang. Son Goten and Beerus are still fist bumping. The clouds in the sky have been completely torn apart. Rumble. A series of huge purple lightning is like a tornado, constantly attacking the earth. Without the energy of Whis, it is estimated that just one blow can sink a planet. Son Goten played harder and harder, and he felt a steady flow of physical energy and strength flowing from his body. Saiyan's transformation did not become a burden for him, nor did it consume too much physical energy. Instead, more and more physical energy and strength are bred in the body. Perhaps this is the difference between the legendary Super Saiyan and the normal Saiyan. If it was an ordinary Saiyan, he would probably be a little exhausted after fighting with all his strength for such a long time. Boom. The two punched each other again. The bodies of Son Goten and Beerus retreated tens of feet each. Then the place where their fists collided just now seemed to become a piece of space, and the blue and golden arcs were constantly wriggling like little snakes. Quote. Gods of Destruction. Beerus was panting heavily. It was obvious that the battle just now had caused some problems in his physical fitness. After all, his only hobbies are sleeping and eating. For training, I don't care much at all. Especially for him who has the power of the seventh universe's rules, he doesn't need training at all. Because in his opinion, he will always be the most powerful existence in the seventh universe. It is absolutely impossible for any human being to surpass him. Therefore, the long-term eating and sleepiness coupled with such intense fighting and consumption also caused some problems in his physical fitness at this moment. As for Son Goten, he seems to be in a state of extreme excitement at the moment. A steady stream of power in the body is constantly gushing out. Giggle. This bastard, the strength has actually reached this level. To have 1/10 of my strength is indeed pretty good. Beerus secretly exclaimed in his heart. In fact, he never used all his strength from beginning to end. Because once he uses all his strength, Son Goten in front of him probably won't be able to hold on to a move. The power of gods of destruction is definitely not comparable to that of a human being. The reason why he didn't resolve the battle quickly was because he hadn't experienced the fun of fighting for a long time. Finally had a good experience today. But with the decline in strength, he felt that it was time for this battle to end. But at this moment, Beerus has absolutely no intention of killing Son Goten. In the entire seventh universe, humans who can possess nearly 10% of their own power have never appeared. If you kill the kid in front of you, it will be a little troublesome if you want to fight in the future. Maybe Son Goten can be a very good opponent if he develops well. At least the daily sparring should not be too lonely. Then, this battle can end, Beerus said lightly. After hearing this, Son Goten's face sank slightly. Because he knew very well that in the battle just now, Beerus didn't use his full strength at all. Even if he possesses the power beyond Shaolin or even Deep Blue, it is absolutely impossible to be the opponent of gods of destruction at full strength. He still has the strength to kill himself with one blow. What's more, fighting Beerus for so long, the electronic synthesis sound of the system did not sound. That means he didn't pick up any gods of destruction abilities. In the battle with Beerus, his greatest wish is to pick up the destruction of gods of destruction. If he can't find it, gods of destruction will always be a dream in his heart. Because of the power of rules in a universe, it can destroy itself at any time. What's more, Beerus' own strength is much stronger than himself. Boy, next, I will show you what the true power of gods of destruction is. I will fight you with 100% strength. After getting ready, Beerus smiled and said to Son Goten. What? It means that gods of destruction. Beerus didn't show his true strength in the fierce battle just now. Are you kidding? Goten's strength has obviously become so powerful. After hearing what Beerus said, everyone was terrified again. Although they already think Beerus is very powerful. But now it seems that their guess is still not bold enough. I said long ago that the gods of destruction. Beerus will not be defeated. Either us, or Son Goten. The end result is all the same, Vegeta said in a daze. At this time, Vegeta's face is full of fear. Where is the half-arrogance of the past? Giggle. Seeing everyone's appearance, Whis also covered his mouth with his hands and laughed. Then, he said to everyone, Master Beerus is the most powerful god in this universe, his strength is beyond your imagination. But having said that, that kid named Son Goten is also very powerful. He can actually have 1/10 of Lord Beerus' strength. This is something that hasn't happened in tens of millions of years. In fact, he has already decided in his heart that he wants to train Son Goten to be the next gods of destruction candidate. 10/10. Isn't there no chance of winning? Ask for flowers. However, after hearing Whis' words, everyone's complexion became even worse. Will the earth really be destroyed today? A 10-fold gap. No matter how strong Goten's money is, it is estimated that it will be difficult to make up for it. What's more, that gods of destruction. Beerus seems to be going for real. I don't want to give Goten the opportunity to continue to grow at all. Come on, Beerus big. People, being able to feel 100% of the power of the strongest gods of destruction, maybe this is also a good trustworthiness. Son Goten said with a firm gaze. Didn't pick up all the abilities of gods of destruction. Beerus just now. Maybe it's just because Beerus has always been playful and didn't fight with all his strength. If he showed all his strength, he might be able to pick up his skills. Because every time they picked up other people's blood or skills before, they basically showed their full strength. Or pick it up after being completely defeated by yourself. As for Beerus on the opposite side, a little bit of purple aura rose around his body. At this time, his eyes became very serious. Although no one could feel the breath of Beerus, an overwhelming sense of oppression hit the soul instantly. That strong sense of oppression made it impossible for everyone to even have the determination to resist. Even Son Goten is under tremendous pressure. Cut. Let's fight. The legendary Super Saiyan will never be afraid of battle. Son Goten clenched his fist and muttered to himself. There is a green flame on the fist. Swish. Son Goten's body flashed out again. Aha. Zero. With a roar, his strength was instantly raised to the extreme. Beerus was fully fired, so he naturally didn't have any qualifications to keep. Snort. Another mindless attack, Beerus said coldly. This guy has used the same straight punch attack 3 times. After saying something disdainfully, Beerus punched out directly. Poof. In the next second, Beerus' fist directly penetrated Son Goten's body. However, there was no resistance at all. Afterimage. Beerus' face suddenly changed. Unexpectedly, he just satirized Son Goten, but found that he seemed to be fooled. Looking up, I saw Goten's figure densely packed around me. This ability is similar to Tien Jinfan's 4-body fist. But it is obviously more perfect than when Tien Jinfan is displayed. And there are hundreds of afterimages in the sky. This ability, Majin Buu's regeneration, can completely do it. Moreover, after fusion cells and mastering Tianyufan's 4-body fist, his understanding is more thorough. Kamehameha Wave, Ultimate Flash, Chi Yuan / 10 Blades. Luo Guangguang kills the cannon. New Qigong Cannon. In an instant, the hundreds of Son Goten on top of Beerus used different skills. All kinds of ki blasts also appeared in the sky for a while. Aim straight for Beerus, although such an attack would certainly not be able to do damage to Beerus. But while he evades these attacks, he will definitely reveal gaps. Then is the perfect opportunity to launch an attack. How is this possible? Goten has mastered all of our tricks. At this time, everyone looked at Ki Blast, who was full of bells and whistles, and was very surprised. Unexpectedly, Goten has mastered all of their tricks. What's more, this move works perfectly in Goten's hands. Ha! Accompanied by a roar from Son Goten. All the Ki Blasts greeted Beerus. Beerus stood there motionless, not even looking back at all. The body only moves in a small range to avoid all Ki Blasts. Good chance. Son Goten suddenly discovered Beerus' real body. Then an instant transmission appeared directly behind Beerus' body. All the energy in the body is concentrated on Yu Quan, and he punches out directly. If this punch hits Beerus, he probably won't feel well even with all his strength. Just the moment Son Goten raised his fist, Beerus turned around suddenly, surprisingly fast. There was a devilish smile on his face. Heck, smelly brat, although he wants to sneak attack me with such an insidious move. But what you think is too simple. The moment the words fell, Beerus' right knee directly pressed against Son Goten's chest like lightning. Boom. Wow. The moment the collision sounded, blood spurted out from his mouth directly. Son Goten's body also flew upside down. The blood drew a brilliant arc in the sky. This guy uses Ultra Instinct. The moment he flew upside down, Son Goten also realized that Beerus must have used the Ultra Instinct just now. Chapter 66. Otherwise, it will be difficult to precisely avoid all Ki Blasts. And for Beerus, who is going all out, there is no need to dodge those harmless attacks. The only possibility is that this guy turned on Ultra Instinct, and then dodged subconsciously. XOJ. I used all my strength and turned on the Ultra Instinct. While Son Goten's body was falling rapidly, Beerus turned into a purple light beam again and caught up with Son Goten in an instant. Then he grabbed Son Goten's head directly, and pressed it down heavily. Rumble. The moment Son Goten's body touched the ground, the whole earth shook violently. Click. There was a crisp glass shattering sound. Immediately afterwards, where Son Goten was lying, the condensed energy barrier of Whis began to crack rapidly. Moreover, this spider web-like crack spread directly in all directions at a speed visible to the naked eye. Son Goten keeps raising his breath. The grass-green energy around the body is constantly erupting from the body. But even so, he couldn't break free from Beerus' shackles at all. After all, Beerus at this time has exerted 100% of his strength. The gap between them is still ridiculously large. Stinky boy, I know you have a very strong recovery ability. But let me tell you now, those abilities of yours are useless at all. It's best to honestly remember that in the face of the sheer power of gods of destruction, all bells and whistles are bullshit. Beerus grimaced, showing a smug smile. I have to admit that the Sun Goten in front of me is really strong. And those abilities that even gods of destruction didn't master. But if the strength gap between the two is really too big, these fancy abilities won't be of much use. Only, 147, may play a crucial role against opponents who are weaker or slightly stronger than themselves. And Sun Goten is still constantly improving his breath. There was a grass-green air in both eyes. Just when Beerus was triumphant again, Sun Goten's body instantly began to melt, and then began to decompose in the form of particles. Beerus was shocked again. Nani, what kind of trick is this? Seeing Sun Goten disappearing before his eyes, Beerus couldn't believe it. How could a mere human kid master so many wonderful moves? And each of these moves is really outrageous. The strength of the body is ridiculously strong. Even if his own attack hits his body, this guy doesn't seem to suffer much damage. And even if it was blown to pieces by itself before, it can recover on its own. Now it is even more outrageous, the body actually begins to decompose rapidly. It's surprising enough that one person has so many superpowers in his body. Everyone watched this scene in horror. Especially Son Goku, this one is too familiar to them. The evil thought wave at that time had mastered this ability again. It is precisely because of this ability that they have suffered a lot. Unexpectedly, Goten also learned this ability. How did Goten learn so many evil thoughts? Could it be that you have completely mastered the ability of Xie Nianbo just by relying on one battle? If that's the case, then Goten's learning ability is too strong. Son Goku said in great surprise. You must know that he, Vegeta and Gohan are all combat geniuses. But it is simply impossible to learn the opponent's own wonderful tricks in the battle. Even if they are deliberately asked to learn, it is estimated that they will have to learn for a long time. And he felt that this kind of ability should be difficult to learn, and it should be the ability of Xie Nianbo. But why Goten can master it? And mastered so thoroughly. Although Piccolo and Vegeta were also shocked, they couldn't figure out why. Just when everyone was shocked, Son Goten's body quickly began to regroup behind Beerus. The moment his body regrouped, Son Goten kicked directly towards Beerus. At this time, he has completely exerted his strength and speed to the extreme. Because fighting Beerus, only with 120% of the strength, there is a chance of survival in the past. Cut. I said before, this kind of fancy ability is useless in the face of absolute strength. Beerus snorted coldly, his face full of disdain. Just when Son Goten kicked over, he avoided Son Goten's attack at a very fast speed. Then grabbed Son Goten by the ankle. Then a volley flew over his head and fell heavily to the ground. Click. The energy barrier made a crisp cracking sound again. Son Goten's body was smashed to the ground again. Obviously, even a sneak attack would never succeed. The strength gap between them is too great. Wow. A mouthful of sour water spewed out directly from the mouth. Beerus' long heart was also instantly attached to Son Goten's chest. At the same time, a burst of purple energy instantly enveloped his body completely. And the strength also began to weaken rapidly at this moment. Chi-Chi, stinky boy, those fancy moves of yours are really good. But now I have the power of God to seal your body, you continue to use it to try. After the purple energy completely enveloped Son Goten, Beerus said triumphantly again. In fact, he thinks Son Goten is a good guy. It would be a pity if it was destroyed like this. So he just sealed all of Son Goten's energy and body to end the fight. I didn't want to kill him completely. The energy dissipated rapidly in the body, which made Son Goten feel an unprecedented sense of crisis. Is this the power of the gods of destruction? The body is completely blocked, and I can't move at all. The rapid disappearance of this power made Son Goten completely panicked. This is something that has never happened since traveling to this world. For a strong person, the disappearance of power will definitely make people extremely terrified. Only he can personally experience the dangerous feeling at this moment. And just now he also tried to use the abilities of Majin Buu and Xie Nianbo. But these abilities have completely lost their due effect. This made him feel a strong fear of God for the first time. It seems that gods of destruction is much more unfathomable than that shown in Dragon Ball Super. After a minute, Son Goten's strength has been nearly exhausted. At this time, he could no longer support the transformation of Super Saiyan, and then directly changed back to normal. Accompanied by the depletion of strength in the body, Beerus also directly withdrew his own energy. In an instant, Son Goten also felt his own strength begin to return rapidly. It's over, brat. Your strength is indeed beyond my imagination, and you are the most powerful human being I have encountered so far. Such an evaluation is enough for you to feel proud. Beerus stood up, looked down at Son Goten and spoke. To be affirmed by gods of destruction is definitely the highest praise for most people. But Son Goten doesn't give up now, on the contrary, he is very unwilling. Because he fought with Beerus, he mainly wanted to use scissors by fighting, gods of destruction Beerus god skill. It's good now, not to mention being repaired, and I didn't even pick up a hair. This is a result he absolutely cannot accept. Master Beerus. The battle is not over yet. Son Goten stood up immediately, and then said unconvinced. If you can't pick up gods of destruction Beerus god skill today, then your chances may not be too great in the future. Because even if we develop a relationship with Beerus in the future, even if we fight again, it will definitely not be as intense as it is today. Even more unlikely to force Beerus to use all his strength. Now that you've made it this far today, be sure to get gods of destruction's destruction ability. Cut. Kid, do you know what you're talking about? Although I can feel that your energy is recovering quickly, it is impossible to recover the peak period just now without a few days. And I have lost interest in you now. Beerus snorted coldly, then said dismissively. He had blocked Son Goten's power just now. Although this guy's recovery ability is very fast, the energy seems to be recovering quickly. But under such circumstances, without a period of 3 to 5 days, the energy could not be restored to its peak at all. So he completely lost interest in Son Goten. If his strength becomes stronger in the future, of course this interest may be rekindled. Whoosh whoosh. And at this moment, Son Goku, Son Gohan and Keelan also came to Son Goten in a flash. Goten, why don't you forget? You can't beat Lord Beerus at all. That's right, and your physical fitness has dropped too fast, it's not wise to continue fighting. That's it, Goten, we can all see your strength and determination. Also, Master Beerus doesn't seem to have any intention of continuing to embarrass us. Keelan, Son Gohan, and Son Goku all immediately spoke to dissuade them. From the current situation, Goten seems to have been approved by gods of destruction Beerus. That's why he didn't kill Goten just now. But if the entanglement continues, the situation may not be certain. Cut. You guys are a little bit self-aware. Beerus said contemptuously. He really doesn't want to destroy the planet in front of him now. Because he admires the kid Son Goten. Maybe in the future he will become the most powerful fighter in the 7th universe. Destroying a planet is just a matter of choice for him. If Son Goten was pissed off for destroying a planet that was of no use to him. This is obviously not a wise approach. Of course he wasn't afraid of Son Goten. In the entire 7th universe, he's no one to be afraid of. But there is really no need to plant the seeds of hatred in this kid's heart for no reason. Son Goten ignored Son Goku's dissuasion. Now that the battle has begun. So if he doesn't get the destruction skill of gods of destruction, it will make him very unwilling. Then he looked at Beerus and said, Master Beerus, I still have an ability. I believe you will be very interested in this ability. That's right, he's ready to use the Ultra Instinct. Although his Ultra Instinct is still not perfect, it is just an entry-level Ultra Instinct Mega. It is also impossible to defeat Beerus with Ultra Instinct. But he also took chances. Perhaps this is the final battle to gain the limbs of gods of destruction Beerus. Oh, any other fancy abilities? To be honest, I'm not very interested. Because those things may work for other people, but they don't work for me. Beerus smiled lightly, his face still full of disdain. Any fancy ability is nonsense in front of gods of destruction. No, you will definitely be interested this time. Son Goten said firmly. Then adjust your breath as soon as possible. The originally disordered breath in the body also completely calmed down at this moment. Under everyone's expectant eyes, Son Goten slowly closed his eyes. Start adjusting your breathing. Quote. Beerus still looked disdainful. Whis, who can run, seems to have noticed the clue, with a curious look on his face. Could it be? No way. It shouldn't be. This kid is just a human being with relatively strong talent. It should be impossible for him to master the skills of a god. And those violent transformations just now, and that ability should conflict with each other. It is absolutely impossible for an ordinary human being to possess two extreme abilities. Whis looked skeptical at first, and then immediately denied the speculation in his heart. The transformation just now was extremely violent. The breath in the body is violent like an unrestrained wild animal. And that kind of skill that is only unique to gods requires a very peaceful mind. Therefore, Son Goten's transformation just now directly conflicts with that god's skill. Moreover, a mere human being is estimated to live at most 100 years. How could it be possible to master that divine skill in 100 years? And just between with surprise and doubt, silver lines began to rise around Son Goten's body. A wave of divine energy was also instantly born in his body. What? Are you kidding? It's the spirit of God. Impossible. This kid is just an ordinary Saiyan. It is absolutely impossible to master the breath of God. Beerus immediately shook his head in shock. He couldn't believe how he felt just now. Although a human body released the breath of God. And this breath is not weak, but quite familiar. It looks real. 3.5 inches. Although it is surprising and unbelievable, it seems that Son Goten has really mastered the Ultra Instinct. It's really surprising. Whis was also full of surprise. The guess in my mind just now is unlikely. I didn't expect the slap in the face to come so quickly. This breath of God is really all too familiar. And those silver lines around the body are obviously the primary reaction of human beings after mastering the Ultra Instinct. It's that kind of transformation again. Goten is going to get real. When Keelan saw the silver lines around Son Goten's body, he also became excited instantly. At that time, after Goten used this transformation, he completely eliminated the lightning cell in an instant. It's just that he said at the beginning that he didn't master the perfect form of this voice change. I don't know if I have it now. But it is undeniable that Goten is still very strong now. Swish. When everyone is in shock, Son Goten's eyes snapped open. At the same time, a silver light flashed through the pane. Following that, silver aura surged around the body. The surrounding temperature also suddenly increased in an instant. And awesomely the Ultra Instinct Mega. Although he knows that Ultra Instinct Mega can't beat Beerus at all. But in order to pick up the destruction of Beerus, they had no choice but to start the final battle. Since Ultra Instinct, this joke is too big. This is a divine skill that is very difficult for us gods of destruction to master, and this kid has actually reached the entry level. The complacency and disdain on Beerus's face faded little by little, turned into serious and serious. Although such strength still cannot beat him. But a mere human can comprehend Ultra Instinct, which is enough to shock him. Chapter 67. You must know that among the 12 universes today, only I have touched the threshold of Ultra Instinct. That is, the imperfect Ultra Instinct realm has been reached. As for the other 11 gods of destruction, even the threshold of Ultra Instinct has not been touched. Although gods of destruction has its own god skills, sometimes it is completely unnecessary to learn Angel's Ultra Instinct. But when gods of destruction is introduced, Angel will also guide the cultivation of Ultra Instinct. As for whether it can be mastered, it depends purely on whether the practitioner's mind is calm and whether his talent is suitable for cultivating Ultra Instinct. Apparently, those two requirements alone shut out nearly all of gods of destruction. But now a human from his own universe has mastered Ultra Instinct. Although it is not perfect, but just stepping into the threshold is already quite remarkable. After all, gods of destruction still has Angel's patient guidance. But the kid in front of him obviously didn't have that kind of treatment. I guess it's all on my own. In this way, this kid's talent and comprehension ability can be seen. Shocked, Beerus glanced at Whis. Obviously want to ask him, what is going on here? Why would a human from their 7th universe master the Ultra Instinct? Could it be that Whis secretly taught this brat Ultra Instinct while he was asleep? Whis also shook his head with a puzzled expression. This was also the first time he saw Son Goten, and he was as surprised as Lord Beerus when he saw him use Ultra Instinct. Master Beerus, please teach me. After casting Ultra Instinct, Son Goten said calmly. This is the requirement of Ultra Instinct, the mind must be calm to use Ultra Instinct. Brat, you are able to master Ultra Instinct without Angel's guidance. I have to say that you surprised me once again. I haven't been so surprised in a long time. But I still have to tell you, even if you comprehend Ultra Instinct, it is absolutely impossible to be the opponent of gods of destruction. Besides, your current Ultra Instinct has only reached an imperfect level. Boris said with a sneer. Surprise is nothing but surprise, but if this kid wants to defeat himself by relying on Ultra Instinct, it is simply a daydream. This is simply impossible. Even if he mastered the perfect Ultra Instinct, it is absolutely impossible to defeat gods of destruction. I know, it's just that if I'm defeated like just now, I'm a little bit unwilling. Son Goten also nodded, very self-aware. The imperfect Ultra Instinct Mega is really no match for the Beerus. But his goal now is clear. That is to hope to pick up the gods of destruction skill of gods of destruction Beerus through this final battle. Aren't you reconciled? Then keep coming. This time I will convince you to lose. Beerus also did not refuse Son Goten's request to continue. Since this kid is still not convinced, then beat him until he is convinced. Anyway, it won't waste too much time. This time Beerus took the initiative to flash out directly. In a moment, he was in front of Son Goten. The pair of fists kept waving, punching punch after punch like a machine gun. Son Goten's body is surrounded by brilliant color aura. Between the small-scale movements of the body, it has completely avoided Beerus's attack. Okay, what a terrifying speed. Is this what Goten is capable of? Son Goku looked at Son Goten in surprise. Although it seems that the speed is not fast, and it is also a very small range of movement. They seem to be able to see this kind of action clearly. But every time, he was able to avoid Beerus' attack accurately. Obviously, this is a very powerful ability, one that they cannot understand. Shish. Beerus launched hundreds of attacks one after another. But they were all avoided by Son Goten again and again. Cut. This kind of hide-and-seek battle really doesn't give you any pleasure in fighting. Seeing Son Goten dodging all his attacks quickly, Beerus also said unhappily. In fact, he prefers the fighting style of Son Goten before. There is almost no dodge, and every time I choose to head with myself. That kind of battle can make his blood boil. Although Ultra Instinct is a pretty outrageous ability. But the body's spontaneous avoidance is a bit too annoying. This kind of battle will make the opponent feel quite impatient. Especially someone with a violent personality like him. Whoosh. But at this time, Son Goten took the initiative to attack. The body is flexible like a cheetah. It appeared behind Beerus in an instant, and then an energy ball directly hit Beerus back. However, this energy attack did not cause any damage to Beerus. Not even the clothes were destroyed. Just feel a burning sensation in the back. Goten's attack has no effect on Beerus. The ability he is using now seems to be stronger than before becoming a Super Saiyan. Son Goku frowned slightly and spoke. The energy wave just now didn't even damage Beerus' clothes. This is obviously not as powerful as when Goten turned into Saiyan before. But the movement speed and reaction speed are ridiculously fast. Goten told me before that the ability he has now is only an imperfect level. Perhaps it is for this reason that his power cannot be fully displayed. If this ability is mastered perfectly, the strength should become stronger. Keelan on the side also immediately explained. At this moment, all of them also know that Goten can't win this battle no matter what. At this time, Beerus also frowned slightly. It's time for this boring battle to end. Then he turned his head and used the Ultra Instinct as well. The body flashed out. The bodies of the two turned into silver and purple light again. Started a fierce chase, collision. Accompanied by a minute of fierce confrontation, a figure directly descended from the sky. Then he fell heavily in front of everyone. Rumble. The luxury cruise ship shook violently again. This person is obviously Son Goten. Even with Ultra Instinct Mega, there is no chance of winning at all. It's not even as powerful as Chuan Chao 2. Damn, no way to beat Beerus. Sun Goten clenched his fist tightly, but let it go again soon. This gap is really too big. Ultra Instinct simply can't make up for it. If it is the perfect Ultra Instinct, maybe it can still struggle for a while. But now, he doesn't even have the strength to struggle. Originally, the energy in the body has not been fully recovered, coupled with the rapid consumption of Ultra Instinct. Makes him almost incapable of fighting Beerus now. However, just when Sun Goten had completely lost hope, the system's electronically synthesized voice suddenly rang in his mind. Open black lens bracket ding. Congratulations to the host for picking up Gods of Destruction's God Skill Destruction, close black lens bracket. The moment the sound sounded, Sun Goten was ecstatic. Just now, he had almost given up hope. It looks like this battle won't be able to get Beerus' God skills at all. But I didn't expect the system's electronic synthesis sound to sound when my physical energy was about to be exhausted. He always feels that the system guy is playing with himself. But soon, a stream of information quickly appeared in my mind. It's about Gods of Destruction's divine skills. So good. The beating just now was finally not in vain. Gods of Destruction's divine skill, I finally got it. Sun Goten's excitement was overwhelming. That's what he's fighting Beerus for. Now that the wish has been fulfilled, the silver aura around the body also disappeared instantly. At this time, he returned to normal. Next, there's no need for him to continue fighting Beerus. Because this was originally an impossible game to win. Whoosh. And at this moment, Beerus' body fell in front of Sun Goten. Squinting his eyes slightly, he looked at Sun Goten calmly and asked, "Hey kid, do you want to continue fighting?" Hearing this kind of question, Sun Goten gave a wry smile helplessly. Then he replied, "Master Beerus, although I have exhausted all my abilities and strengths, the gap between us is too great. No matter what I am now, it is impossible for me to defeat you. This battle, I admit defeat." Although he took the initiative to admit defeat, Sun Goten's face was filled with a satisfied smile. The battle with Beerus this time allowed him to gain a lot. Not only obtained the Gods of Destruction skill of Gods of Destruction, but also broke through a higher level with the help of the battle with Beerus. This is already a huge gain. Next, there is no need to continue fighting. Whoa, at first, I thought you were going to put up a desperate resistance. It seems that you are not stupid. You know that the gap between us is irreparable," Beerus said proudly. The little guy in front of him finally surrendered on his own initiative. This also made him feel happy. And the hearty battle just now was something he hadn't experienced for a long time. Whizzing, Son Goku and others appeared again, and immediately helped Sun Goten up. Then he asked with concern, "Goten, are you okay?" "It's fine, I'm fine now." Sun Goten naturally smiled and nodded. His current mood should be better than everyone present. Of course, Gods of Destruction Beerus is also in a good mood. Although the Super Saiyan God in the prophetic dream was not found today. But the strength of Sun Goten in front of him should not be weaker than that of Super Saiyan God. This battle also made him feel comfortable. So now he doesn't want to destroy the planet, because it doesn't make sense to do so. And he appreciates this Sun Goten. I don't want to be an enemy of him. Whis, after fighting for such a long time, the physical energy is also consumed a lot, and I need to replenish my physical energy. Let's go back quickly. Didn't you just say ice cream? Doesn't it taste good if it stays in the refrigerator for too long? Afterwards, Beerus looked at Whis, who was not far away, and said lightly, "Master Beerus, in fact, there are many delicacies on our planet. These delicacies are definitely something you have never eaten before, you can taste them." Sun Goten smiled and said, as a traveler, he naturally knows that Beerus and Whis are typical foodies. And those things that I ate before, compared with the delicacies of the earth, are completely leftovers. The earth in the Dragon Ball world is also known as the gourmet kingdom of the seventh universe. After Beerus has eaten the delicacies of the earth, he should not have warm thoughts about the earth in the future. Oh, is it so? In that case, I'll taste it. But if it doesn't taste good, I'll get mad. Beerus still spoke proudly. Then the body flashed and appeared directly in front of Angel Whis. Then I took 2 sweet shrimp sushi and pudding and started eating. Once you eat it, you won't be able to stop. In an instant, Beerus and Whis immediately became turbulent. So seeing the two of them, it seems like two foodies. Where is the half-distracted arrogance? Everyone looked at Beerus, who had turned into a typical foodie, and it was difficult to associate this guy with 367 with the god of war just now. After 2 full hours of eating, the two of them stopped with still unfinished business. Although I still want to eat in my mouth, I really can't hold it in my stomach. And these are the best delicacies that they have never seen before. If you eat too much, it is a kind of blasphemy to food. Burp. I'm so full. Beerus touched his swollen belly contentedly, feeling that life is really wonderful at the moment. Just had a hearty fight. Now I can eat the gourmet food again, and it's still unlimited. At this time, Whis stood up and walked in front of Son Goku and Bulma. There was a gentle gentleman's smile on his face. Mr. Goten, these delicacies of the earth are really delicious. If we go back to the god realm, we may not be able to eat it, so I thought, can I pack some and go back to the god realm to eat? The voice of Whis is also very polite, and the tone of this inquiry made everyone feel that they were respected. For them on the earth, these foods can be seen everywhere, and there is nothing unusual about them. So of course they have nothing to say. Of course, Mr. Whis. If you want to taste the delicacies of the earth in the future, you can directly come to the earth again. Son Goten also replied immediately with a smile. Now, of course, we have to establish a good relationship with Whis. This aspect allows him to guide himself in training the Ultra Instinct. On the other hand, you can also find a way to fight Whis. See if you can pick up Angel's superpower in battle, or the perfect Ultra Instinct. Clock. That would be great. I'll definitely come when I'm free. Whis also quickly nodded with a smile. The days in the god realm are very boring. Moreover, on those planets near the god realm, there is no delicious food. Once Master Beerus falls asleep, he will definitely come to Earth secretly and taste some other delicacies on Earth. Get ready, let's go back quickly, Whis. The battle just now made me feel a little bit tired. I'll go back and take a nap. Seeing Whis talking and laughing with Son Goten, Beerus interrupted from the side. The sleep time was too short this time. Just slept for 39 years. This is because of the dream rival Super Saiyan God. But after a fight with Son Goten just now, he has no interest in that Super Saiyan God now. Going back just to make up for the return sleep. Okay, Lord Beerus. Whis nodded quickly, and quickly packed a dozen lunch boxes. Before leaving, I looked at Son Goten and asked, Son Goten, you have power that surpasses all human beings in the 7th universe. This power can almost destroy some of the other universes. The gods have resisted. How about it? Have you ever thought about becoming the new gods of destruction of the 7th universe? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Chapter 68. After hearing Angel Whis' words, Son Goten showed a little surprised look on his face. Because he knew that Angel had always been neutral, he didn't expect to ask such a question today. But before he could answer, Beerus had already spoken. Whis, do you bastard think I didn't hear? I'm still standing here, are you ready to start looking for a new gods of destruction? Beerus cursed angrily. I am now in my prime, even if I work for hundreds of millions of years, there will be no problem at all. So he would never agree to something like choosing a new gods of destruction. Master Beerus, am I not doing this for your own good? If something unfortunate happens to you one day, you won't end up without an heir. Angel Whis said with an aggrieved face. He obviously did it for the good of Master Beerus, but he couldn't see that he was good for him. It's really a sad story. Bah, shut your crow's mouth, and you'll have an accident. Beerus cursed again. This guy, it seems that he can't see himself well every day. It's hard to be in a better mood, but when he said that, it suddenly became bad. After scolding Whis, he turned his head to look at Son Goten and said, You are really strong, you are the most powerful existence among human beings I have encountered. Someday, if I have time and I happen to be interested, I will ask Whis to bring you to the God realm, and we will fight again. But before that, you can train well. If it is still at this level, I will lose interest. At that time, maybe I will destroy the earth. After Beerus finished speaking, he and Whis disappeared on the earth in an instant. That's what he said just now, purely to put pressure on Son Goten. Because after the pressure, there is the motivation to become stronger. Such a good opponent, it is estimated that there will be absolutely no second one. It seems that it really needs to be cultivated well. Although I have no plans to abdicate now, it is still necessary to choose a candidate for gods of destruction. After all, in other universes, some gods of destruction have already started looking for candidates for gods of destruction. He naturally needs to think about this kind of thing. That's after gods of destruction Beerus left completely. Everyone let out a long sigh of relief. He wished Earth's crisis had been resolved and Goten was still intact. It can even be seen that gods of destruction Beerus seems to appreciate Goten. Chi-Chi was the first to run up to Son Goten. He hugged Son Goten directly. He didn't speak, but Son Goten could feel the warmth of his heart. This is the warmth that no one can give him. Okay mom, I'm fine, don't worry. Son Goten also patted Chi-Chi on the shoulder and said softly. He knew that Chi-Chi was really worried about him, and he was worried from the bottom of his heart. But she is just a weak woman, she can't help anything at all. So I must have been worried and guilty just now. You brat, you can't take such a risk in the future. I scared my mother to death just now. If I lose even you, then I won't have the faith to live in the future. Chi-Chi said in a sobbing voice. This scene also moved everyone. Even Son Goku felt a little guilty. If he had enough strength, such a thing would not have happened. But there is no way, his strength back then was no way to deal with Cell. Today there is no way to compare with gods of destruction Beerus. And all this can only be solved by his son Goten. To be honest, this feeling made him very uncomfortable. It seems that his practice is not enough. Okay Chi-Chi, Goten is okay. And now that things are settled satisfactorily, why don't we go on with our birthday party? It's hard to have today's reunion, don't let what happened just now disturb us. Bulma also hurried forward to comfort Chi-Chi and said. Afterwards, the birthday party started again in full swing. A few hours later, the sun has slowly set to the west. The afterglow of the setting sun illuminates the earth. At this time, Son Goten's family has returned to Baozi Mountain. They also want to relive the happiness of a family. This is a warm picture that has never been seen before. The family is sitting on the top of the mountain, admiring the afterglow of the setting sun. Chi-Chi, Goten, I'm really sorry. When you need me most, I am not by your side. Actually, I've always felt guilty. Son Goku said to Chi-Chi and Son Goten very seriously. At this moment, he is obviously very guilty. When they needed him most, he was in the underworld. There is no way to give them any help. Son Goten didn't speak, he could feel Son Goku's guilt and powerlessness. Goku, why did we revive you 8 years ago? You resolutely chose not to be resurrected. At that time, did you know how hopeless the earth is, how hopeless we are? And when Goten was just born, we also wanted to resurrect you, but you refused. You Saiyans, it seems like you have no idea how desperate we were. Chi-Chi is also very serious at the moment, and said to Son Goku seriously. The desperation and helplessness at that time were probably only clear to them. Obviously they both have very powerful husbands. But I have to live in endless fear every day. Chi-Chi, it's not that we don't want to be resurrected. The reluctance to disturb the law of natural development that was said at the time was just an excuse. Have you ever thought that when we were just killed, even if we were resurrected, we would still be killed by Cell? At that time, it is very likely that he will be angered and destroy the entire Earth. And when Goten was born, we weren't strong enough to compete with Cell. If we are revived, then Cell will definitely come back to Earth again. So once we return to Earth, it will be accompanied by a greater crisis. And Bulma was right when he said that our presence will bring more and more powerful enemies to Earth. That's why we don't want to be resurrected. Actually, those are things that we have thought through. Son Goku spoke very seriously. In fact, they were not unwilling to be resurrected in the first place. After all, Gohan was only 10 years old at the time, arguably the best age. And Trunks was only 1 year old at the time. No father wants his child to die at this age. But even if they were resurrected at that time, they would be killed by Cell. It will even bring greater disasters to the Earth. When they made up their minds like that, they actually felt very painful in their hearts. It's not that Saiyan has no emotion, it's just that the expression of emotion is not so obvious. Son Gohan obviously knew what Son Goku was thinking. So not too surprised. It's just that the faces of Chi-Chi and Son Goten showed surprise. Especially Son Goten. In fact, he also blamed Son Goku and the others before. Why can they refuse to save their wives and children? But now listening to Son Goku's explanation, they really have no other choice. If it was revived at the beginning, it is true that Cell cannot be defeated. Chase cannot avoid the fate of being killed again. What's more, if the Cell is angered, the Earth may be completely destroyed. It turns out to be like this. After listening to the explanation, Chi-Chi suddenly realized. Knowing he was wrong about Goku. Well, that's it. But now that Goten is so powerful, he is fully equipped to protect the Earth. I believe he will become stronger and stronger, and he can protect everyone. That way we can rest assured. Son Goku smiled in relief. Goten has become so strong now that he can't handle the crisis that he can't handle. And it is impossible to protect the Earth forever. Now Goten can do these things instead of himself. So sorry. Actually, I hated you in my heart before. Son Goten looked at Son Goku and said with a little embarrassment. But now all misunderstandings seemed to have been resolved. But the word father still couldn't say it out. By the way, even if you go back to King Kai, you should train well. Don't think that the Earth doesn't need your protection just because of my strength. If one day a crisis breaks out on Earth that even I can't solve, you will still have to come back. Son Goten smiled and said to Son Goku and Son Gohan. In this dangerous world, nothing is absolute. Although his own strength is very strong, he can't guarantee whether he will meet a more powerful opponent in the future. Ah, that's for sure. Son Goku also nodded with a smile. Looking at each other and smiling, it seems that all the barriers between the two have been eliminated. Time flies so quickly that a day is almost fleeting. Especially for Chi-Chi and Bulma, they can speak. The time of reunion is always so short. At 10 o'clock the next morning, Son Goku and the others had to go back to the underworld. Because the time of the day has passed. At this time, the divination mother-in-law also came back. Goku, the time of day has come, and you must return to the underworld. The divination mother-in-law said to Son Goku and the others. Understood, mother-in-law. Son Goku nodded quickly. Then she turned to look at Chi-Chi and Son Goten and said, Goten, protect your mother. Looking forward to our next meeting. Goodbye, Chi-Chi. After finishing speaking, everyone's bodies also disappeared in an instant. Parting after a short reunion is often very sad. Especially Chi-Chi and Bulma, separated after just one day of reunion. This is indeed very unacceptable. But there is no way, they can't stop such a thing at all. Okay, let's go back. Today I invite everyone to have a big meal. Bulma obviously had a better mentality, and quickly adjusted his mentality, and said to everyone. Okay, Lin nodded quickly. Of course he, also very sad for Goku. Then Bulma took them to a top restaurant for a meal. Then Son Goten and Kling returned to Baozi Mountain. Goten, please start training me. No matter how much training intensity is, I can accept it. Keelan immediately spoke seriously to Son Goten. After these two battles, he realized that his strength was simply not enough. With this kind of strength, he can't help at all against the opponents he meets now. It can even be killed in an instant. He had already asked Bulma for help before. But Bulma said that with her current technology, Kling's strength can only be raised to this level. But in the future, she will think of a way. But I can't wait any longer. The crisis of the Earth does not know when it will suddenly erupt. So now he has to race against time to make himself stronger. He really doesn't want to be a burden to Goten, he wants to be at least a little helpful when Goten is fighting. Quote. In this case, then I will teach you Ultra Instinct. The way I ended up fighting Beerus. Son Goten also nodded without hesitation. He knew very well what Klin was thinking. So there was no rejection. Really, hearing that Goten is so generous, I want to teach him such a powerful ability. An expression of disbelief suddenly appeared on Keelan's face. He has seen with his own eyes how strong that kind of strength is. More than 2 months ago, Goten couldn't beat Cell even if he transformed into Super Saiyan 2. After becoming like that, Cell was completely killed in an instant. The strength of that form is indeed outrageous. If he can really learn that ability, his strength will definitely be improved qualitatively. Of course it's true. However, it is not so easy to comprehend Ultra Instinct. First of all, we must achieve an absolute balance of mentality, which is also the biggest requirement for practitioners. If you can't achieve peace of mind, it is difficult to master Ultra Instinct. Son Goten said very seriously. I try. Clint nodded quickly. In order to become stronger, he is willing to endure all things. After all, I have even endured the pain of being skinned and boned when I was transformed, what else can't bear it? Good. Then let's start now, Son Goten said, and began to introduce all the information about Ultra Instinct to Good Jiao Lin in great detail. Although this is very difficult to master. But Majin Buu's super regeneration ability and those abilities of Xie Nianbo are basically their own attributes. It is simply impossible to learn by teaching. So now the only thing that can be taught to Kling is Ultra Instinct. In this way, the two are training desperately every day. The days passed by. All the theoretical knowledge about free energy has been taught to Keelan. And Son Goten also demonstrated the form of Ultra Instinct to Keelan several times. These include the changes in body and mentality after casting Ultra Instinct, as well as perception and experience, etc. After teaching all of this to Keelan, Son Goten also started his own training. When he was in the spiritual time room before, he once thought that he could complete the perfect Ultra Instinct through his own training. But that was not realistic, and he gave up after a while. If you want to comprehend the perfect Ultra Instinct, you need an opportunity. It is difficult to comprehend the perfect Ultra Instinct by training blindly. So now, he puts the direction of training on Gods of Destruction's Gods of Destruction skill. Gods of Destruction's Gods of Destruction abilities are more than just destructive powers. Also includes the true form of Gods of Destruction. In the second season of the Dragon Ball Super manga, Vegeta's self-consciousness is a derivative form of the Gods of Destruction technique. So he also wanted to comprehend that form of self-extreme intention. Of course, if it is only in the form of self-consciousness, the strength is still not enough. Son Goten naturally has his own plans in mind. That is, after you have truly mastered the perfect free mind and self-mind, you can find a way to perfect the fusion of these two divine skills. At that time, not to mention the Gods of Destruction, I guess even if you meet Angel, you will have the strength to fight. Of course, while practicing God's skills, you must never abandon Saiyan's transformation. That's who he is. Ultra Instinct, or Ego Extreme, is just a hand of cards. Chapter 69. Time passed day by day, and a month passed in a blink of an eye. The Earth also ushered in a short period of peace and stability, and no new enemies appeared. Son Goten and Keelan did not leave Baozi Mountain from the beginning to the end, and they were training hard every day. Sometimes there is even no time to eat. Chi-Chi prepares the meal and brings it over, or Vital runs over directly with the takeaway. At the very beginning, Keelan couldn't completely calm down his emotions. Because there are a lot of things to think about in his mind, and Goten's strength is too strong, which makes him feel great pressure. Because when he thinks that his strength is too weak, if there is a battle in the future, he won't be able to help him, that kind of oppressive feeling makes him unable to calm down. But slowly, these pressures are gradually decreasing, and my mentality is gradually returning to peace. Keelan's mentality should be somewhere between Son Goku and Vegeta. There's none of Son Goku's total indifference or sheer innocence. There is also no Vegeta's eagerness for quick success, and his state of being on guard all the time. In fact, it is not easy to practice Ultra Instinct in such a state of not going up or down. It has been a month now, although he can control his emotions. It can also calm you down quickly. But they can't understand the feeling of Ultra Instinct at all. This also made him wonder for a while whether he could master the Ultra Instinct. At this time, their bodies were sitting cross-legged on two adjacent mountain tops. The expressions of both of them were very calm. It's like being completely integrated into nature. At this moment, Son Goten's expression changed slightly. On the originally calm face, the brows were slightly scratched. Immediately afterwards, the purple experience of a woman and a woman continuously rose from around her body. See la la. At the same time, tiny purple electric arcs surround the body. A powerful breath of God also burst out from Son Goten's body instantly. Naturally, Keelan couldn't perceive this kind of breath. But he just heard those crackling lightning noises. Then slowly opened his eyes. It is to see the purple flames around Sun Goten's body. He knew that Goten's strength had changed again after a month of training. Perhaps soon he will be able to master the new form. Cackling, with more and more purple flames around his body, Sun Goten's face became more and more restless. Gritting his teeth tightly, a low voice came out of his throat. Aha! With a roar, his eyes suddenly opened. A purple light also shot out from the eyes. Swish! Immediately afterwards, the hair suddenly turned purple. 193 At the same time, the eyebrows disappeared directly, and the brow bone was raised high. In this form, it looks very similar to Son Goku from Super Saiyan 3. It's just that his hair didn't grow as long as Super Saiyan 3, and his eyes looked even scarier. This way, it feels like a villain. Is this the ego that Goten told me earlier? This kid, it only took a month to succeed. Keelan looked at Son Goten in disbelief. Sure enough, people are more popular than people. It only took Goten a month to master the self-consciousness. And without anyone teaching it. But under Wu Tian's careful guidance, although he didn't understand the tricks of Ultra Instinct at all. So far I don't even have a clue. And just when Keelan was surprised. Son Goten's face was still very ugly. It seems that he is clenching his teeth tightly and insisting on this form. But the moment his face returned to calm, he immediately withdrew from this form. The pupils and hair also returned to their original black. After returning to normal, Son Goten let out a long breath. It seems that it will take some time to perfectly grasp the ultimate will of the self. However, it only took 1 month to master the trick of self-extreme intention, which is already quite good. Whoosh! At this time, Keelan also hurried away and flew in front of Son Goten. Then, he said enviously, "Goten, you kid is really incredible." Unexpectedly, without anyone's guidance, it took only 1 month to comprehend such a powerful transformation again. This is definitely the most sincere compliment from the heart. Actually, I haven't fully grasped my ultimate will. Just touched the threshold. It should take a while to master this form perfectly. Son Goten said somewhat modestly. In fact, as long as one has mastered the trick of self-extreme intention, it is equivalent to having fully mastered self-extreme intention. As long as you train well, then you can achieve a perfect state. Self-consciousness and self-consciousness are different. First of all, Ultra Instinct Jiao is rewarded by the System Novice Gift Package, and it is not mastered by oneself. So it is very difficult to achieve perfection. And self-extreme intention is comprehended on the basis of picking up the Gods of Destruction skill. All the information about the Gods of Destruction technique has been completely imprinted in his mind. Therefore, it is only a matter of time to master the perfect self-consciousness. You don't have to be too humble. In this world, you are probably the only one who can possess such a talent. Keelan immediately said with a smile. Goten is indeed more humble than others. Never be proud and complacent because of your own strength, and be defiant. This is indeed very similar to Goku. Ha ha, Son Goten could only smile awkwardly. He knew very well in his heart that the reason why he could become so deceitful. Mainly because of the existence of the system in the body. If there is no system, it is not bad to be able to break through Super Saiyan 2 with his current ability. As for the other abilities he has now, that is even more impossible. There's nothing to be ashamed of in itself. He just wants to better protect himself and the people he wants to protect. By the way, Goten, the self-intention you just comprehended should also be the ability of God. Because I couldn't feel any breath from your body at all just now. Clint asked curiously. Goten told him before that humans cannot perceive the breath of God. This point, they also understood from the previous battle between Beerus and Goten. It is indeed the skill of God, more precisely, the skill of Gods of Destruction. Son Goten has no reservations either. Because in this world, Keelan should be regarded as his only friend now. So for Keelan, there is no need to hide too many things. As long as you don't tell the biggest secret in your heart. Gods of Destruction, my God, you kid, I really don't know how to describe you. Keelan could only helplessly shake his head and smile wryly. Sure enough, people should not be compared at all, and there should be no comparison. Because the ending is too cruel. Let me try my current hold on destruction. Son Goten said lightly. In fact, it is not so easy to control the damage. The simplest is to destroy energy. Use energy to destroy anything you want to destroy. Just like Beerus destroyed 10th Universe candidate Supreme Kai Zamasu before. In an instant, a person can be turned into a pinch of Lois. And destruction has other magical uses. For example, by destroying some objects to burst out powerful energy. Kill opponents with these energy balls. The moment the voice fell, Son Goten held it in the air, and a stone the size of a little finger appeared on the tip of his index finger out of thin air. Then he straightened his eyes sharply. Destroy. When a faint voice came from the throat, the small stone exploded in an instant. Rumble. The power generated by that kind of explosion is outrageous. A huge deep pit with a diameter of 1,000 feet was instantly blasted out on the ground, and the whole earth began to tremble violently. The powerful shock wave instantly sent Keelan flying. All the surrounding mountains were also destroyed. Klin's body was sent flying several hundred feet away before barely stopping. At this moment, an unparalleled look of horror appeared on his face. God, this is too abnormal. The power generated by the explosion of a small stone can actually cause such destructive power. Is this the so-called gods of destruction skill? Keelan looked in disbelief at the giant sinkhole that appeared in front of him. If BGDD, this is the destructive force caused by the energy wave, then he will not be surprised at all. But this is the power produced by the explosion of a small stone. This is really shocking. And Son Goten looked at the surrounding environment and was quite satisfied with the effect. He didn't deliberately want to destroy these places just now. Otherwise, the power of the stone explosion just now would be infinitely greater than this. Even destroying a dozen planets is a breeze. More importantly, the current him can not only destroy such a small stone. It is easy to destroy a planet. Using destruction to explode a planet, that kind of explosive package can definitely swallow a galaxy in an instant. Even spread to farther distances. However, just after the ground returned to calm, the roar of the helicopter sounded again. Vital also soon appeared in front of Son Goten and the others. Looking at the terrifying destructive power around her, she seems to have gotten used to it a long time ago. After getting off the helicopter with a large bag of lunch boxes, Vital said angrily, "If you two continue to train like this, it is estimated that the enemy will not destroy the Earth. You two will destroy the Earth first. Indeed, the valley has been messed up by the two of them. And the destructive power caused this time is even more terrifying. If it continues to spread around, maybe Son Gohan's home will be destroyed." Yo Vital, what kind of food is it today? Looks like I made the right decision to train with Goten. Every day you can taste food that you have never eaten before. Seeing Vital put the lunchbox on the ground, but you also said with a smile. If you follow Wu at Baozi Mountain. In the case of Teacher Tien, there is no such good food. Don't touch that sweet shrimp sushi, that's Goten's favorite. Vital said to Klin angrily. The main thing is that after getting along for this period of time, their relationship is already very good. So we can joke around with each other. Okay. Clint could only nod his head. I sigh in my heart, having a girlfriend is so different. Hurry up Goten, or Kling will eat them all. Vital quickly pulled Son Goten over. Vital, in fact, you don't need to send us food every day, it's too much trouble for you. Son Goten looked at Vital and said, although the two have known each other for several months. And he also knew that Vital must be interested in him. Now I run to Baozi Mountain every day, either to receive some daily needs, or to send some food over. This made Son Goten very tangled in his heart. Tell me you don't like Vital, who wouldn't like such a beautiful and cute young girl? Rich, powerful and good-looking, but still being chased backwards. To say you don't like it would be a lie. But now he feels that improving his strength is the most important thing. If he doesn't have enough strength, he can't protect these people he likes. And once you have your own family, the ties will be even greater. Do a lot of things, there will be a lot of scruples and worries. HMPH. The legs are on my body, so I can go wherever I want. And I just want to buy it for you to eat. Whether to buy it or not is my business, and whether to eat it is your business. If you don't try to drive me away, because I'll tell Aunt Chi-Chi. Vital raised his chin and said to Son Goten. In fact, my heart is more or less a bit lost. In fact, she had already expressed her heart to Son Goten. And as long as you are not a fool, you can probably understand why you did this. But this guy rejected him again and again, which naturally made her feel bad. But now, she has identified Son Goten. Because on this earth, and even in this universe, there is no one better than Son Goten. All right, you can do whatever you want. Son Goten could only nod in agreement. He doesn't want to be nagged by his mother all the time after he goes back. Also, last time you promised me to teach me the ability to fly. You seem to have nothing to do this month, or start tomorrow, you can teach me. After hiding the unhappiness in his heart, Vital said again with a smile. All right, then let's finish eating later. Son Goten could only nod his head. After all, he had promised Vital to teach her how to fly before. Never keep your word. Really? Yeah, that's great. Hurry up. The excited Vital hurriedly urged. After lunch, Son Goten also decided to teach Vital chi perception and flying technique first. It can be regarded as giving yourself a little time to relax. If you want to learn flying technique, you must first learn to perceive the chi in your body and learn to control the chi in your body. Because any attack or flight is supported by the chi in the body. Okay, start following my movements and slowly feel the chi flowing in your body. Be sure to let your body relax as much as possible. After feeling the chi in your body, then slowly find a way to control them. Son Goten sat cross-legged on the ground, and then explained to Vital seriously. Vital is sitting opposite Son Goten, also with his eyes closed, practicing according to what Son Goten said. In this way, time passed by every minute and every second. 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. Vital also felt the chi in his body. It's just that wanting to control this kind of energy is not something that will happen for a while. Need to practice slowly and find the balance. And just when Son Goten was just beginning to prepare to continue his training, suddenly there was a very familiar feeling in my mind. At the same time, a hidden very good breath of God appeared. This breath is Whis. Son Goten immediately identified the breath as Angel Whis'. And only him. Chapter 70. Vital, you can train yourself here first, and I will take care of some things. If the training is boring, go and chat with my mother. After feeling the breath of Whis, Son Goten said to Vital immediately. Now that Angel Whis has come to Earth, as the host, it is natural to welcome her. After all, Angel Whis is very important to master the perfect Ultra Instinct in the future. Okay, then you take care of the rash yourself. Vital nodded, a reminder. Then start training. Now she can already feel the breath in her body. So this also lightly stimulated her determination to train. Then Son Goten walked to Poor's side and said, Mr. Keelan, come with me to meet the guy who came to Earth last time, maybe he can help us master the extreme mind circle faster. Good. Keelan nodded without hesitation. Then the bodies of the two flashed and disappeared in the Bun Mountain in an instant. At this time, Angel Whis had already appeared in the bustling streets of the western capital. Whizzing, Son Goten and Kling appeared in an instant. Whis also looked over curiously. Mr. Whis, why didn't you notify me when you arrived on Earth? Anyway, I'm also the host, so I can be your tour guide. After seeing Angel Whis, Son Goten said with a smile. Hey, Mr. Goten, your alertness is really outrageous. Whis also said with a smile. This guy felt him as soon as he appeared on Earth. It's really outrageous. But this is exactly what he wanted. This time, he came to Earth to taste the delicacies of the Earth. One more thing, that is to take Son Goten to the Gods of Destruction world for training. This is what Master Beerus decides before he falls asleep. Speaking of which, Lord Beerus really values this Son Goten very much. Before going to bed, I specifically asked myself to train with Son Goten to make him stronger. Perhaps he also intended Son Goten to be his heir. Since you discovered it, please take me to taste other delicacies on Earth. To be honest, since I ate the food of the Earth a month ago, I have been obsessed with it. The food from other planets has become a little hard to swallow. Whis continued with a smile. But what he said was true. Since tasting the delicacies of the Earth a month ago, the delicacies they thought they had before tasted completely insipid. Even a little hard to swallow. There is a good saying that if you have never seen the light, you can actually bear the darkness. But after seeing the light, then the darkness will be unbearable. Before eating the delicacies of the Earth, those foods tasted with relish. But after eating the food of the earth, those foods are too unpalatable. Okay, happy to oblige. Son Goten also nodded generously. Even if Angel Whis doesn't agree to take them to train, it doesn't matter. Anyway, eating some delicious food is a very simple thing for him. It's nothing more than wasting half a day. Even if you only have one friend with Angel Whis, it is very cost-effective. Then Mr. Lo Goten. In the next 3 hours, Son Goten and Keelan took Whis to eat most of the delicacies in Western capital. Seeing Whis gobbling up regardless of his image, Keelan felt a little sympathetic to him. Obviously the master of the most powerful god in this universe. But just a hamburger or a sausage made him excited like an orgasm. After eating and drinking, Vita did not forget to pack. After preparing a lot of food, I am ready to go back. Mr. Goten, Mr. Keelan, thank you very much for spending such a long time shopping with me today. Then I'll go back first, and there will be a period. Whis said to Son Goten and Kling. He didn't say exactly what Beerus had told him earlier. Because he wanted to see if Son Goten and Kling wanted to train in Gods of Destruction. Mr. Whis, can you take us to the Gods of Destruction world for training? Seeing that Whis was leaving, Son Goten also asked straight to the point. If you only rely on yourself to comprehend Ultra Instinct, you don't know when you can reach the perfect level. But for sure, it was definitely a very long time. But with the help of Angel Whis, this period of time will definitely be greatly shortened. Especially Klin, the current strength is still too weak. With the guidance of Angel Whis, there will definitely be a qualitative breakthrough in strength. In the future, if he is not on the earth, Keelan can also stand up when the earth is in crisis. Go to God Realm. It's a bit difficult. After all, Master Beerus did not agree. Whis rubbed his chin, pretending to be very embarrassed and said. After hesitating for a moment, he continued, however, if you can prepare different delicacies for me every month, I can take you to the God Realm for training at the risk of Lord Beerus scolding me. Anyway, they are going to take them to the God Realm for training. It's better to blackmail now. In the future, we will also be able to taste more delicacies from the earth. Forehead. It's too casual, Keelan said with a dull face. Okay, I will handle it. Son Goten nodded immediately. He is well aware of the appeal of food to Beerus and Whis. Quote! Then let's go now. Whis also had a happy look on his face. Taking them to the temple for training was originally what Master Beerus meant. It's so cool to be able to extort a sum of money now. I wonder what kind of food Son Goten will choose next time. It's really exciting. Under the leadership of Angel Whis, it took the three of them nearly half an hour to reach the God Realm. Because the earth is too far away from the Gods of Destruction world. Even if Angel Whis has the fastest speed in the universe, it will take 26 to 7 minutes. The so-called Gods of Destruction world is actually a purple planet. The soil on the ground, the surrounding peaks, and the flowers and trees are almost all purple. Even the palace of the Gods of Destruction Beerus is purple. Mr. Goten, Mr. Kling, here we are, Whis said enthusiastically. In fact, he was still very happy at this time. After all, in this lonely God Realm, he and Master Beerus have lived for hundreds of millions of years. Master Beerus slept most of the time. Therefore, in many cases, he is the only one in the God Realm. Even Angel feels lonely. Well now, with Goten and Kling, it shouldn't be too lonely in a short time. This lifeless God Realm will also be lively for a while. Is this where the Gods of Destruction live? Keelan looked around, and it seemed that there was nothing special except that the surroundings were purple. Moreover, the gravity of the Gods of Destruction world seems to be similar to that of the Earth. Mr. Whis, let's use our names from now on. After all, we are too young in front of you. Son Goten said to Whis. You know, Whis is an old monster that has lived for hundreds of millions of years. And myself plus the previous life, I have only lived for 30 years. More importantly, Whis has his own unimaginable power zone. To be called Mr. by such a person feels somewhat unnatural to him. Just like when Supreme Kai called him Mr. All right. Goten, Kling. Whis also did not refuse, and said directly. Then, looking at Son Goten, he continued to smile and said, Goten, the purpose of your coming to God Realm this time should be to better master Ultra Instinct. During the last battle with Master Beerus, you have mastered the form of Ultra Instinct Mega. According to your personality, you should pursue the perfect Ultra Instinct. Hearing that Whis is so straightforward, Sun Goten feels that there is nothing to hide. He just nodded and said, yes, I really want to master the perfect Ultra Instinct, so I also hope that Whis will help with training first. Now there is only Whis who can help him complete the perfect Ultra Instinct. Or train with Whis, or a fight with Whis. Maybe in the fight with Whis, you can pick up the perfect Ultra Instinct. You are really direct, but I like your direct character. In the first month, I will give you the most basic physical training. Goten, you are also very clear that Ultra Instinct Jiao needs a strong body as a support. To master the perfection of Ultra Instinct at the initial stage, it also requires strong physical support until the perfection is gradually mastered. Whis is very serious at this time. In fact, the benefits of basic training are far more than that. Because the last time Goten and Master Beerus fought, he discovered that Goten's Super Saiyan transformation was an increase in basic strength. That is to say, the stronger his basic strength, the stronger he will become after transformation. So for him, basic strength is the most important thing. Clear, please begin. Both Sun Goten and Kling nodded very seriously. Not everyone is qualified to be trained by Angel Whis. Well, but you must be prepared, my next training will be very dangerous and very difficult. Whis smiled mysteriously. Then the staff in his hand tapped the ground lightly. The ground that was full of potholes just now turned into a very flat runway in an instant. At this time, in front of the two of them, a thing similar to the big weight appeared. Ask for flowers, 0. Okay, today's training is for the two of you to run 100 kilometers with this thing. Whis looked at the two and said, is this an iron block? Is this kind of training effective? Keelan looked at the big iron block in front of him and asked with some doubts. For ordinary people, such an iron block may be very heavy. But if the strength reaches their level, especially if they reach Goten's level, there is no such piece of iron at all. What weight? But Son Goten on the side doesn't think so. In the Dragon Ball Super Original, Son Goku and Vegeta also received such training. Their strength at that time was far stronger than Klin's now. The iron block in front of me looks like nothing, but it is definitely very heavy. Whis also knew his own strength, so naturally he would not fool himself with a piece of iron. Sure enough, after hearing Keelan's suspicious tone, Whis quickly spoke up. Klin, don't underestimate this thing. This is no ordinary iron block. This is something I made out of the extreme strength you two possess. That is to say, the two of you must exert your limit strength to be able to pick it up. By the way, the moment your training starts, the road behind you will disappear little by little. Once your speed slows down, you will fall into another dimension forever and cannot get out. Now, get ready to begin. After Whis' voice fell, Son Goten and Keelan didn't even have time to think about it. The staff in his hand lightly tapped. 0. A golden halo instantly spread out. Immediately afterwards, the ground behind the two began to disappear rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Where the ground disappears, the graduation is unfathomable abyss. Let's go, Kling. Son Goten also became serious in an instant. After a lot of effort, the two of them finally picked up the big iron block. Just picking it up already makes them sweat. Heck, it's too heavy. It seems that I was short-sighted just now, Keelan said with a painful face. But in order not to fall into the different space forever, the two could only grit their teeth and move forward desperately. In this way, time goes by day by day. The two perform the most basic training every day. A month has gone by so quickly. During this month, Son Goten did not use any Super Saiyan transformation at all. Almost all of them are doing the most basic training. Of course, all the hard work pays off. He could feel that his basic combat power had improved qualitatively. After becoming a Super Saiyan, the strength will definitely become even stronger. But now, in addition to their daily basic training, they will also do a few simple tricks with Whis. It's just a pity that the system has not reduced any angel skills of Angel. Son Goten also understands that things should never be rushed. Goten, Keelan, today's basic training is to run 5,000 kilometers in a weight suit, and then do 15 push-ups. Early in the morning, the three of them started training. With a wave of the staff in Whis' hands, a very bulky costume appeared on the two of them. Looks a bit like astronauts in special uniforms. But the terrifying gravity almost crushed the two of them. This is also the gravity exerted according to the ultimate strength of the two. You two, you can start, Whis said with a smile. Then two figures also flashed out like lightning. Whis found a stone and sat down comfortably, and then began to taste delicious food. This month's time has been quite lively. It's completely different from the boringness that was hundreds of millions of years ago. Whis, as an angel, actually enjoys this lively atmosphere quite a lot. An hour later, the weight-bearing long-distance run was over. Next is weighted push-ups. This kind of push-up is not easy. You have to make your body completely upside down, and then you can only use one thumb to complete tens of thousands of push-ups. But in order to become stronger, the two of them have no complaints. And Keelan is even more motivated. 99,998. 99,999. The two of them were already sweating profusely. There is still one more thing to go, so I can only grit my teeth and stick to it. Just when getting ready to make the last one, Whis suddenly raised his head and glanced at the sky. Then he frowned slightly. In the next second, a brilliant streamer of light slanted down directly from the sky. Whoosh, rumble. The moment the brilliant streamer hit the ground, the entire Gods of Destruction world trembled violently. Son Goten and Keelan, who had already gritted their teeth, were also directly knocked to the ground. Hey, why is Master Champa here? Whis raised his eyebrows and muttered. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.